Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is finally time for Season 5 of OCE PUBG series. My name is Chunks. I'm going to be your caster for this evening, this morning. I don't even know at this point. I've got a solid 3 hours of sleeping since PUBG Spark last night. But I had to be up early for this. I am so excited for some OCE PUBG. It's easily one of my favorite regions to cast, and OCE PUBG series is a community tournament. It is for the community, by the community. It's not one of those absolutely insane prize pool tournaments you see like PGI. This is really a grassroots operation. So do me a favor before we start, go and drop OCE PUBG series a follow over on Twitter. Keep up to date with everything, because who knows, next time you guys could be taking part. Let's take a look over at the team list though and see exactly who is going to be taking part. And I gotta tell you, this is my first time casting Lobby 1, but looking at what we have in store, this is gonna be a very, very spicy one right here. 36 Cartel, Auxiliaries, Big J, Bizarre Gaming, Fury, Paradox, 67. Spectral Gaming, Team Bliss, Team Process, 300, Thrust, TNG, Trident Esports, and VIP, and not to forget Youngbloods as well. A lot of well-known names inside this lobby, some names that I personally haven't had the chance to cast before, but I gotta tell you, I am so excited regardless of it. I gotta say, you know, ones to watch out for. We gotta be looking for the teams that perform well in LPL previously. Team Bliss, Team Fury. But also not to count out a couple of these other squads that we've seen them perform at kind of the top level here. 300, a team that's kind of one of those mixed squads with a couple OCE players, a couple NA players in them. Definitely a strong squad with very strong potential to look out for. Going to be an interesting one to watch there, as we are just waiting on one more player here. I was promised that the lobby would start exactly on the hour, but it looks like that isn't quite happening, as we are just waiting for one more at the moment. Just heads up, we are on live server for anyone wondering what patch we were on, so anything that's active on live server is going to be active in tonight's games. We don't have event server access. As I said, it's a community, you know, led event. We don't have access to all those fancy tools, but I mean, shout out to Twire before we get into it for providing all of the awesome leaderboard overlays, all the all the stats that you guys are gonna see. That's all courtesy of them. So huge thank you to Twire for everything they do. As it appears that everyone is loaded into the lobby, the game is starting. So in just a couple minutes, we are gonna have our first match of the evening. We're going to be starting out on Miramar tonight, 6 games this evening, which for a lot of OCE people might seem a bit strange. Typically, we tend to do 5 games, but because of the earlier start time, we are going to be able to do 3 Miramar, followed by 3 Erangel, and the same throughout the weekend. So definitely one to keep an eye out for here. In terms of squads, I think everyone is rocking a pretty standard roster here. I don't think there's anyone, you know, really rocking any rosters that I'm not too familiar with. There are a couple squads that I haven't had the opportunity to cast before, so apologies in advance if I make any mistakes with pronunciations of names, anything like that. So just want to give you guys a head up as we do load in to game number 1. I gotta tell you, I am so excited. Some OCE PUBG. And you know what? We've had things like LPL that have been going on. I've had the pleasure to cast that with Saga over a pretty long stretch of time. We've just finished our first split, which is what's kind of influenced the seeding here for OCE PUBG series. But I also have to say, you know, OCE PUBG series, it is a short format event. It isn't like LPL in the fact that, you know, we can go on for weeks straight. A couple of days is all these teams really have to be able to prove their performance. But game number 1, we are loaded into the lobby. Or are we? What is going on there? Game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a second. Huh. That's not good. That's really not good. My capture card isn't working. This is really not ideal here. One moment, please. This is the nature of doing things on the day, isn't it? Okay, cool. So my capture card is not working. Let me do something real quick. I should have a fix for this. Please bear with. Apologies. It's game number 1, guys. It happens. Add NDI source. Apologies for this. Is this gonna work? I hope it's fixed it. I really hope it's fixed it. This isn't looking promising, guys. There it is. Game number 1. Apologize in advance because we are gonna have a bit of delay between what appears on my screen and what appears on the other screen. So let me just restart that real quick. There it is, game number one. Apologies for the delays. We are in. There is going to be a little bit of delay between what happens on my screen, so apologies if I'm casting a couple seconds ahead of what you guys see. We fixed it. Phew, that was nervous. We have our solutions, though. We made it work. There we go. Game number one, we're on Miramar, and I mean, looking out at this plane already, it's going to be pretty far over to the western side here. We do see Bizarre Gaming are going to have Speedy K moving down here for his team. Does have to be a little bit cautious with Furious very close by. The same going to be said for the rest of VIP, however, as they do have 67 over on the east. Fury going to be taking control of Los Leones, as Spectral actually going to be going for a bit of a Picardo split here. We do see Eickerman. He's going to be taking a couple shots early on in the game here with that AK. However, nothing quite landed just yet. So, nothing too much to worry about here, as we do see the circle pop. 300, going to be heading over towards Monte Nuevo. Neferho with the M16. Can he maybe land something on towards Bryn? I'm not too sure about it. It is a little bit long range for them right there, so 300 should be relatively safe. Let me just do something 1 second. I will just attempt to fix the audio, since it's probably out of sync right now, so just give me a moment. It's game one, guys. It's a community event. Everything has to break sooner or later. There we go. There, and then audio, desktop audio. There we go. Apologies for the delays then. Hopefully now the audio will be in sync with the game. I had to do things in a way that I don't really like doing to get it all to work, but is it going to be working now? How bad's the delay? Oh, there is like a solid 5-second delay between it coming on my screen and coming up on yours, so hey, it happens, guys. It's first game. I'll try and get my capture card fixed before the end of the evening. I genuinely have no idea what's causing that, honestly. Yeah, I really do not know. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where I have to restart OBS to fix, and we're on a 10-minute delay. It's really not worth it, honestly. But yeah, game number one. Apologies for all the technical issues. You know, it is game number one of the evening. We do see 36 Cartel. They are going to be looting up over towards this graveyard kind of split. They have to be a little bit cautious with rain from Bliss over to the western side, as Bliss will have control of power grid. The circle is popped. There is the possibility of a Los Leones ending here if it pulls down to the south. Fury going to be looking strong off of that one, because, I mean, let's be real here. Fury just have a really strong history in terms of being able to absolutely clutch out in these Los Leones circles. They have huge performances. Once they get circles like this, they are able to very easily perform off of them at a super high level. So that's going to be a super interesting one to watch, I have to say. In terms of other teams to watch, though, we will hop on board with VIP, as they are going to be down to the southern side here, heading dangerously close to 67 here, as Jinx going to be looting over towards this compound. We do hear a couple shots raining through from the east. That's Bizarre that are going to be opening up with a few here down towards Gats and Endgame, but nothing really too much to worry about, as the rest of 67 going to be moving off to the east to try and get away from this. In terms of teams that are going to have a rough time getting out, most teams should be able to at least get into the circle relatively easy. They shouldn't be held out too much. But I have to talk about this northwestern side here. A lot of squads can have a very, very long rotate ahead of them. As actually, speaking of rotates, Bizarre going to be making a rotate through now. Tazzy opening up a couple shots to them. Will catch a little bit of fire from Mirage Flare, as Bizarre going to be looking to disengage, trying to get control of this hillside early here. More shots raining through. So we do see a VIP trying their best to land something. So they will continue to group up instead now. So Bizarre, they're not going to be much of a problem over on the west. Trident also going to be moving in as well. Playing together here over on the west of Los Leones, trying to get themselves a decent compound to come into circle. They have themselves some high ground. They have some ridges to work with. So the real question is, are teams going to be prepared for this? or are trying and potentially going to be able to pick up a couple knocks on the rotate and catch them off guard. But, I mean, a lot of these teams, they've had the opportunity to play each other for the longest time now in LPL. They should all be pretty familiar with each other's loot paths, but that's not going to stop players like Frozen Sniper from Team Thrust here from trying to connect from long range. He will actually spot one out from Spectral as it's going to be Xing landing some from range. They're not really going to connect as look how close those bullets went right there. That is certainly really close with that mini 14. 36 Cartel going to be making their rotate down through the circle here, deciding to hang a little bit west of Team Thrust, moving in. So Sam actually going to take a little bit of fire here, followed by a second bullet as well. One more bullet from Frozen Sniper. If it lands on the head, it could do the job and finish up here. But 36 Cartel, for the time being, they're just going to be pulling up over in towards this compound. Anything really to note about right yet? Nothing really huge going to be going down, as well. It actually appears Fury going to head a bit up to the north here, really not banking on that circle pulling back down towards Los Leones. Instead, wanted to take a northern high ground position and watch down on towards teams around it. Team Bliss, they're going to be rotating in. Another very, very strong team out of the Oceanic region are potentially going to be crashing here in towards P4 as he will start his rotate through as well in the bike. Monty appears to be aware of this as he does hear it out, but right now his focus is going to be down to the south over on towards Spectral as Xing going to be getting spotted out here. Mini shots do land, but it's going to be Frozen Sniper from range here for Team Thrust that opens up and returns the fire. So Frozen Sniper, he's been getting so aggressive already. 57 damage, and we're not even done with phase 1, but he hasn't been able to pick up any kills yet. Can he make a change to it here with that mini 14 as he lands them over on towards P4 here? It is looking like it could be a bit of a rough one, as Asper going to be able to return the fire on towards him now. The circle will start to close in, and these teams all the way up on the northwest have a bit of a way to go to be able to make it in now. 300 on the very edge here. We've seen these guys perform really well at the NA level. The question is how they're going to perform at the Oceanic level. We do see Killaroo here going to be taking a couple shots over on towards Headkick as he does try to rotate through this position. Paradox are going to be kind of posted up in a bit of a split. Heikeman opening up a couple shots towards them, but for the time being, they should be relatively safe. Nico's actually going to be playing with Paradox here, a very explosive player that I love to watch pretty much any time. He can have some absolutely huge performances. Let's see if he's able to pull through right here and prove me right this time, because the last time I said that, it was in LPL and he just insta-died 30 seconds after I said it. So fingers crossed that won't be happening again. Over on the eastern side, however, we do see Big Boy Maka for TNG. He's going to be pulling up on the side of 67. He's got himself an SK, and most importantly, the barrel. He's going to be trying to make a pull up on towards them, but he also has to be cautious of the rest of the team, as now Cherry and Light by Design going to be moving in inside the buggy here. 67 opting not to peek up just yet. Subject Nest, he goes for the AK spray on towards it, wants to try and land something, but nothing really connected, as the rest of TNG are going to be moving away. They still have Husey providing a little bit of cover here from the compound, as they are looking like they want to bank up north, potentially play over towards Lab ND to Crater. In terms of the circle, I don't think any teams are going to have a really rough time right now. We'll see how it ends up pulling, though. There's the potential of it going hard up to the north, potentially a Minas circle here, but I think for the time being, most squads should be relatively safe, as we do see a drop is going to land down here near Bazaar. I'm not sure whether they're aware of it. Let's see what they will grab or what will be going to waste. It's an AWM. And, you know, we all love to see them. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing one of those Orm quick-scope knocks that we saw a couple weeks ago. Nefer with the headshot. Beautiful damage on towards Tchaikovsky right there with the Mini 14. Going to be able to get the knock on towards that. Paradox are going to be losing him early. He should be pretty resable right now. There are 3 players inside this compound, but Nikos is aware. He knows that a team like 300 could definitely get aggressive on towards this. It wouldn't, you know, slow them down at all. So Nico's just going to be kind of healing, keeping an eye out for the time being, aware of Big G behind as well, just being ever so careful, not wanting to give anything away. As the circle pops, it is going to pull over towards La Bendita, so TNG moving away from that position. They might come to regret it later, but they should be able to play a really aggressive split on towards this, potentially send 2 players up towards La Bendita. Instead, we do see Beef here from Team Thrust, going to be able to take down Susama, tries to take down Suspect as well, but it's not going to work out as he goes for the seat swap. Sig's also going to be connecting with some. Beef goes down here to player 4, as now it's just a case of 36 Cartel sweeping together, going to be able to get the knock on towards Sigs or not. No, they're not, as they're all taking insane damage right now. Suspect, he goes for the seat swap. It doesn't quite work out as Sig's going to be playing slow for the time being. Wants to get aggressive, goes for the peak, but it's a little too late. Tries to land the shots. It's not going to be enough, as now Thrust, they're finally here to provide some support, but is it going to be too little, too late here as the rest of the squad do roll in? Beef is going to be knocked. They have to try and get the heal off. Nades, flashes, they're all going to start moving in, as 36 Cartel are just absolutely posting up in this position right now. Thrust, they're watching carefully as nades and flashes will start to come through. 36 Cartel deciding to just play the backside here, deciding actually to go upstairs instead. They realize that this is maybe a stronger position to hold it from, as Asper going to be the solo player on the ground floor. Spectral, however, they do hear this over from the western side, so they do have to be a little cautious there. A huge nade going to land through over on towards player 4 as Asper, he goes for the repeat. Suspect going to be able to take down one as Beef gets the trade on towards it, but there it is. It's going to be Asper with the 2K over on towards Team Thrust. Sig's now the final player left up, trying his best to clear his way through. He will be able to. He's able to res Maxoritz, but down go 36 Cartel, and a huge 2K coming out right there from Sigs. And there it is, over on the eastern side. Finally, VIP starting to open up as Jamguchi will be getting knocked here for Trident. Akita going to be putting himself in a position to do a little bit of damage on towards this now. Process should be relatively aware of it, so they are just going to be keeping an eye out here as Haim Korea is in the compound as well. Jamguchi should be getting flushed out by Gats from range. There it is. The point is now confirmed here for Team VIP. In terms of squads with interest in positioning, I don't think we have too much to see right here. Arguably, Big J are going to have a bit of a rough time to make it in here, playing this kind of hill area. The chances are we're going to see a hard shift away from that sooner or later, so they might struggle, especially with all these teams posted up down on the southern side. So it's just a question of them being as careful as possible right now. Rookie here for Process. I'm not sure whether he realizes that Trident are over in this dip. It's a pretty common position to play inside the circle. It's actually Xing Xing going for the drive-by here over on towards Spectral. It's going to be Mr. Clay that opens up with the shots, however, on towards Paradox, as they do manage to make it in towards the warehouse. Thrust, even as a 2-man, they're still going to keep fighting. They want to pick up even more kills here. 4 so far. That's 4 points, but with 15 teams alive, they're a long way away from the placement points. They're going to have a big game ahead of them to realistically be able to make it in now. Not really too much happening right now, as most teams are just going to settle up, getting those vehicles ready for the rotate in the event of a hardship, but it is actually going to center up over on La Bendita now. This is an interesting one, to say the least. Things could end up being very, very messy here, it has to be said. Bliss, they're going to be absolutely posted up in a pretty perfect position. Look at this. Rain going for the Korean peak, only showing about an inch of his body right now. Still is going to be opening up on towards Auxiliary, but nothing really connecting. Trident going to be moving in following TNG, as Garfield going to be taking a lot of damage here from Subject Nest. Nothing really coming of it, though, as it looks like Trident are going to be pulling up on the eastern side. Potentially could end up fighting on towards Team Process here, depending on how these squads end up managing to do it. Jakey looking like he wants to start getting aggressive over on towards this position as he plays the high ground. He will be scouting out, but he's looking right over this compound. He's looking all the way over to TNG right now, which could be the death of him if he does decide to crash into Trident here. Down on the southern side, Bizarre are going to have the edge, but Big J have a bit of a way to go. TNG opening up some shots here on towards Process, but nothing really huge landing. Now that Trident are getting involved, though, things could definitely change. Snow with the mini shots doing a lot of damage on towards the vehicles. This Team Process, they're having a bit of a rough time. They're going to have to rotate hard up to the north to get out of this circle, and it looks like potentially going in towards Minas. Now, the question is, Youngbloods here, a team that I haven't had the opportunity to watch play just yet, are going to be kind of posted up in this position. You see, I Only Loot Body is going to be taking a couple mini 14 shots to try and keep these players away, but it isn't going to slow down Team Process. Couple bullets landing on towards them, but nothing huge going to be able to connect. As Process, right now, they're just going to be playing the edge of Minas. They want to keep those vehicles safe so that when this next circle pulls, they're going to be able to rotate out of it safely. Down on the southern side, though, here we go. The second crash on towards this compound as Spectral going to start making a push in towards this Xing Xing. Going to be going down. McZoris throws out the pre-nade. It lands onto Illyrius. It's not going to be enough to get the kill, however, as McZoris throws down the Molotov, tries to land it on towards Mr. Clay. It doesn't quite work out. Sig's still alive as well, so Thrust, they're having to survive as long as possible. This is going to be a very rough position for them. Flashbang does come out. Heikeman from range could do some big damage onto this, as he's given a lot of info for his team now. He knows McZoris has decided to back off of this, and that Sigs and him are likely going to be playing the downstairs. So the Molotov's out. Nades coming through as well. Now's the opportunity for Thrust to start to get aggressive. Heikeman has moved in from that southern side. Fury and Big J also potentially going to be positioning on towards this fight now. Sigs tries to go for the AK kill. Not going to work out. Xing Xing going to be able to get that, but Zoris gets the trade, however. Looking for the flush on towards Heikeman. Not going to be able to connect, but he does get a second knock instead. Down goes Xing Xing, but there it is. Thrust going to be going down in 15th. Big J could go for the third party here, but they are getting pressure applied to them from Paradox up on the northwestern side. TNG, Big Boy Maka, has been able to get the knock on towards another savior with that arm, but the southern side is going to be very rough for a lot of these teams right now. Bizarre Gaming, Big J, Fury, all of these big names down on the southern side, and they're going to be crushed into each other sooner or later. Big J have to make something happen here soon. They have to start opening up and getting some knocks, because otherwise they're going to go for the rotate, and Bizarre are just going to absolutely farm damage on towards them, as now the vehicles will be starting to move. Bizarre do decide to give away that position. Screws are going to be taking some shots, but instead it looks like Big J opting to go over to the west. Let's see if Ronan has anything to say about that, as he will just be boosting up. Should hear the players moving over the top. Preps a smoke just in case, as actually Sweet Soul going to be opening up on towards Rookie right here. Big J moving through. Nothing too much to worry about, but up on this northern side, we were worried about it earlier. Youngbloods taking the fight on towards Team Processes. Both teams are going to be forced to make a move through this. Team Process with 2 players left up. Jakey chilling over at this compound, and it's going to be... Who is that? It's going to be Haim Korea making a final stand over on the ridge. Fury also going to be opening up, as they will be able to pick up a kill on the rotate. Nothing huge coming out. Haim Korea takes down one. Jakey looking as one of the 2 remaining players here for Team Process to make a final stand. The nade will come out over towards Champs. It's going to be a little bit short for the flush, and with 300 over on the western side looking to try and flex their way in, things could be a little bit rough for them here. 300, they do decide to move in down to the south. This Tiger Foam going to be able to get the knock and the flush on towards Snow. Haim Korea takes down one more. As over on the western side, we do see Paradox. They're going to be taking a big fight on towards Spectral here, as Youngblood's getting eliminated. Now Spectral start to open up. Heikeman with the barrel gets the knock on towards Tchaikovsky, follows it quickly by Nico. Sam's going to be the final player left up here. The nade will come out, tries to get the peek on towards it. Now it just comes down to an aim battle. Heikeman going to be able to take Sands down low. He goes for the heal, but it looks like Heikeman's going to be applying a lot of pressure here. He knows this player's low. There it is. He goes down to zone. Paradox Esports down in 13th. The circle closed in, but now Heikeman has to run the gauntlet, and with Insight looking straight over towards it, it's going to make things very, very rough here. Spectral do go down in 12th, as Heikeman finally going to be getting caught by Flood. The circle is closed, and with Haim Korea, the final player left up from Team Process, he will start coming alive, trying to get a knock over on towards Voxic, because Head Kick going to be going down to Monty as well. The mollies will be landing in return, but one big nade might be able to land on towards Viha and open things up, because Head Kick is miles outside in the blue right now. He's not going to be much help. In Korea, he does get tagged up. Neferher going to be going for the peek over the top as more and more flashes working through. Haim able to pop the first aid, but not in time as Neferher pops up, lands the headshot. There it is, down go team processing 10, and the circle is pulled hard down to the south right now. This is not ideal for a lot of these squads. Fury are going to be looking all right in this position. Trident with 2 players standing, just chilling inside this dip. Praying for the best right now. The circle will start to move shortly, but right now it's just going to be a lot of long-range shots opening up here. Bazaar opening up. Textile has been knocked. Big Jonas actually here. Going to be chilling inside the shack. Textile going to be getting rezzed here by Rain. And Bliss, they have got a little bit of respite right here. They don't have 300 directly on their north like they have earlier, as 300 are going to be rotating in, deciding to play over towards La Bendita right here, but Auxiliary, they are going to be looking to try and punish this a little. The Shu and Ace both going to be moving in through this area. Neferher should be able to hear these out now. He will just be playing slow. Him and Viha just playing slow for the time being, not wanting to give anything away. They know they've rotated in. They just don't want to give specifics on exactly where. As now over on the eastern side, we do see VIP. They're taking a couple shots over towards TNG here. As Light by Design, he is going to be caught out in the open by the Mini 14. Big shots landing, but nothing big coming out of it. Rain gets knocked by Insight, flushed out by Ace Gun. So that's going to be Auxiliary that pick themselves up an early game kill here. Fury doing some big damage over on towards Big Boy. Maka is Light by Design now going to be returning the fire. He's pinned down in this position, and there it is. Maka with the orb going to be able to get the knock on towards Gats. Jonas goes down to Textile now as Team Bliss going to be looking to sweep their way in. Ronan gets the knock on towards Team Bazaar, but he's low HP. He's pinned down over at this position. The rest of the squad have to provide some serious support right now, but with Bliss moving in from the west, I'm not sure whether they're going to be able to. We see Insight playing this dip. He knows that there's going to be players over here somewhere. He just doesn't know the specifics of exactly where they're going to be. Monty goes down. Cal going to be able to take down another. And I gotta say, Bliss, the zone is moving in. The smoke's the only real form of cover. They're going to be tanking a lot of blue. I think right now they're just popping the res to try and almost deny points. They know there's no way that Textile really survives. It's just going to be a case of trying to deny at least 1 point here from Team Fury. There it is. Down go 3 to the blue. As Maka still for TNG here, going to be opening up with that Orm. Tries to take the fight on towards Gats, but he goes for the repeat here. Going to be able to get the knock on towards it. Seat swap coming out here from Husey. Gats going to be the final player left standing here for VIP. He gets the knock on towards Husey, so he's going to be bleeding out to blue now as Light by Design and Cherry, they have to make their way in. They're inside for the time being, but Viha could potentially pop up and absolutely spoil their day right here, as Viha going to be going for a bit of a reposition, does decide to move down. Neferher opening up with some shots. Auxiliary, however, they should be pretty aware of this. They heard 300 rotate in earlier. They're already looking down in this direction. Ronan going to be able to open up some shots on towards Speedy, as he will be able to pop the heal for the time being. But Bazaar right now, if they're able to catch Ronan off guard, it could open up Fury a little bit. They have Insight and Flood all the way over on that ridge, so if they're able to catch Ronan out in the open, they could absolutely punish. Mirage Flare going to be looking to do that. He knows roughly where these players are going to be. Does he not spot out Insight over on the hill? It doesn't look like he does right here. There it is. The SLR shots will be coming out, doing a little bit of damage. Ronan going to be going for the peak as well. Not getting spotted just yet, but it was certainly close, as Bazaar down on the southern side are going to be looking out for this now. Player area going to be closing in just a couple seconds. It's going to make things a little bit tricky for a lot of these squads, as up on the northern side, Auxiliary making their way in. We did see 300 earlier. Neferher and Viha with a bit of an issue here. 2 players remaining, 2 vehicles. They're both kind of in dips, and this is not the terrain you want to be taking a vehicle on, especially with TNG in this position. As Bazaar now, they will start to open up with the rotate. 67 looking out. Shots will land, but nothing too much to worry about for the time being, as Bazaar do have a bit of an issue here, because they got 67 from range, and now they have Fury creeping in from the west. Ronan going to try and get the high ground on towards it, as Waikika Mukau moving around the side. to be cautious as Ronan. He can't overexpose himself here. He's got himself a buggy. He can make it into zone. Cal going to be going for this drop by the looks of things, but that could be a big mistake here, as now the vehicle rotate does start to come out. Insight has been able to at least get himself some 3 gear out of it. Cal going to be looting up over towards the drop. The mini shots do start to land through here over for Bazaar, as they will opt to, instead of crashing into anything serious, just take this little ridge. Neferher will be going down, as he does get flushed out as well. He takes down Ace on the way, but that means that Viha is going to be the solo player left up here for Team 300, and on 15 health, there's not really much left that he can do. TNG, Cherry, going to be able to get the kill on towards that, as on the southern side, Ginto will be going down to one member of Fury. No real chance of getting the res there. Ronan going to be flexing out a little more, knowing now where Bazaar exactly are going to be over on the eastern side. They know they're playing that ridge, and Waikikamuka's looking to punish it. He's got the MK14 here. He's got himself an AK on it, the 3 gear. It's so powerful. He's going to be looking very strong in this position. As, I mean, looking over at this next circle, we'll see how things end up unfolding here. Furzy looking out over towards VIP, deciding not to engage just yet, as the circle will get ready to pop. We'll see how it ends up going right here. It will, in fact, center up. So I got to say, Fury looking in a strong position. Now, the question is, do 67 realize that Trident are going to be inside that dip right there? Or will Trident be able to potentially catch them on the way out right now? Cherry looking out for Auxiliary. Nothing really connecting here for him, but he does know there are going to be players here. Ace almost getting caught with the headshot, able to 1 peek in time, but only 2 players left up from TNG now. Light has to try and catch someone from the side angle, but he doesn't want to overextend here. He doesn't want to move out over on this ridge, knowing that Fury are going to be down to the south, playing this edge. As Flood opens up, we'll be able to get the knock on towards 1. Waikikamuka takes down Mirage Flare as well, as the fire does get returned on towards Flood. Insight going to be looking to go for the trade here, maybe thinking it is just one team, as Gat's actually opening up on towards Cherry now. We'll be able to take him down, as Light by Design pinned down inside this position. VIP looking to try and finish off a couple kills here. What just happened? Waikikamuka with a huge nade on towards Auxiliary. Beautifully done. Takes out the 2K, as Fury just working their way through bit by bit right now. Ronan going to be able to pick up 1 from Bazaar. The Speedy K going to be going down. 67 finish off the job there. 67 now, though. They're out inside the blue, potentially. They have a bit of a way to go. It's not looking ideal right here. Waikikamuka, he's got himself the MK. Insight goes to the spray. Down go TNG. 11 kills here already for Fury. Are we just going to see a Fury runaway win? Surely we have to see a bit more competition come out from some of these other squads here. But Fury, they're going to be absolutely posted up. 67, they've got a bit of a way to run. So Ronan and the rest of Fury keeping an eye out as best as possible. The smokes will provide some cover. But honestly, if 67 are somehow able to get past Fury, they still have Trident here to deal with, who are just playing ever so carefully. And let's not forget up on the northern side as well, VIP in a really strong position to potentially do some damage on towards them. For the time being, focusing a little bit up on towards those Fury players. Subject Ness, he goes down to the blue zone. Gat's going to be looking to do a little bit of damage on towards Furzy. Nothing quite connecting, as there it is. Waikikamuka with the headshot. He's got the MK, the nade coming in for the flush. 67 go down, as Cal going to be able to finish off Gat. Furzy eliminated. The final player for VIP, it's going to be endgame. He's in the endgame at least, but the real question is, what can he make happen out of it? Garfield goes to the headshot, lands them on towards Ronan. Now it's going to be a case of Fury setting an absolute utility barrage down into this dip. The flashbangs do move out. Ronan going to be going for a bit of a disengage here. Endgame playing it slow, but Fury also aware of this. They are going to be starting the wrap already. Ronan taking an aim battle. Here it is. Insight moves down. He spots out Endgame. The body shot's coming out, but it's going to be Waikikamuka with the MK that's going to be able to pick up the kill here. Garfield, the final player left up for Trident. It was a valiant effort. They got themselves a good position, but there was a 2-man for pretty much the entire game, and that's going to be it. Fury with our first chicken dinner of the evening. 14 kills. Very impressive indeed from them. And I gotta say, I mean, we always speak about Fury coming into these events as one of the strongest teams to watch. They've continually proved it in the past. And you know what? What a way to start for them. Showing just how strong of a squad they are. They're able to do some serious damage and picking up a big kill for game number 1. But that's it for game number 1 of OCE PUBG series. We have 6 matches this evening, so be sure to stick around. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with game number 2 of the evening. Well, with game number 1 done, I'm pretty sure we're all pretty well aware of who's going to be in first place, exactly how the leaderboards are going to be looking. But let's take a look anyway and see at least who's fighting for second here. Fury out there with an absolutely insane first game. 24 total points, 14 of which were kills. Big chicken dinner coming out from them there. Not to mention, however, teams like 67 VIP teams that, you know, they didn't get the most placement points, but they were able to also get a consistent number of kill points. Trident Esports there with 8 as well. Very impressive indeed. Team Bliss with 5, tied with Spectral Gaming, 300, and TNG. It just shows that, you know, just because you don't get a placement doesn't mean that you can't get some serious points. I think all of those squads showing it really, really well right now. On the bottom half of the leaderboard, however, we do see Team Process, Thrust, Youngbloods, Paradox Esports, 36 Cartel, Auxiliaries, Bizarre Gaming, and unfortunately the only team to not pick up any points right there is going to be Big J. Pretty unfortunate, but it is nearly time. 10 seconds left until game number 2 gets underway. Let's hop into game number 2 of Miramar. And here we are. Day 1, game 2. Pretty southern to north playing path. Most teams should be pretty happy about it for the time being. They've got, you know, everything should be pretty much in their reach. I mean, Pozo, potentially a bit of a stretch. If any teams drop there, we did actually see teams actually go up towards Alcantara last game, so we'll see how that ends up shifting and changing a little bit now. Potentially could see a couple hot drops now, as, you know, a couple of the more northern positions are going to be inside the circle, potentially becoming a bit more playable now. But we will have to see. Is, I gotta say, a very impressive game 1 all around. Considering it was a bit of an awkward circle, La Bendita is never the place where teams want these circles to end. So, considering how well most teams managed to play, they at least managed to get themselves some points out of it. But speaking of potential hot drops that could come out here, we do see Big J and Trident both going to be challenging here for this vehicle. Garfield instead opting to go for the compound, wants to grab himself some loot instead. So we could see a bit of a Pozo challenge come out here right now, as Jonas going to be moving through with the Bronco. Sorry, did I say a Pozo? I meant to say a Chuma challenge right here. Basic is going to be down to the south. He could do a little bit of damage here, potentially over on towards Trident, as right now he is just going to be focused on looting up, not wanting to worry too much about taking shots. Wants to try and catch them on the actual rotate instead of just, you know, waiting them out. Is actually player 4 going to be going down here up on the northern side. Oh, here it is, the Hacienda hot drop. Youngbloods and 36 Cartel both going to be inside here. I only loot bodies will be able to take down Suspect. Now it's Asba and Susama, the 2 remaining players from 36 Cartel. What can they make happen here? Asba going to be going for the reload. Knows roughly where Youngbloods are going to be, but the shots can't quite connect through just yet. The single tap coming. Not quite there. Susama's still playing this side angle. He could open up here, but there's no vest here for Susama. The 2x AK is... it's interesting to say the least. I feel like you OS guys, you probably love that thing. I know what you're like with your AKs and your hollows and ooh. But yeah, you know what? 2x AK, it's not my cup of tea, but we'll see if they can maybe make it work, because Susama is going to be clearing through. Youngbloods do decide to send Unique up onto the high ground, so now 36 Cartel moving around as a team to try and catch these angles, playing ever so carefully. Asper, for a second, it looked like he maybe spotted something out, but nothing really connected. Now Unique pushing through more and more. Asba, watching the side angle, knows the champs could potentially push out here. Susama decided to reload the M4, and 36 Cartel, it would be far from ideal if they went down out of this game with 0 points. Needs something big here. Definitely a team that is in the running to perform at the top end of OCE PUBG series. As the nade does come through, the pre-fire comes out. It's no match for Sweet Soul, however, but Asba going to be opening up. I was going to say he's going to get the kill, but it's not going to be enough. There it is. The nade, however, from Susama just before he dies takes down 2 from Youngbloods. Unique will be able to get the heal off and the res, but Champs is out of it. Youngbloods now just, you know, shooting at the bodies, giving them a little extra warning to stay out of Hacienda in future. There it is, Youngbloods. They have been able to loot up. They should be relatively safe, but as the circle pops, we have a relatively Pozo Montana Wavo circle, and relatively few teams inside it. Realistically, we've got Bliss, TNG, I guess you could say Spectral and Big J, but other than that, pretty much every team is outside of the circle right now. They've got a bit of a way to make it in to the zone. Over on the eastern side, we do see Auxiliary. They are going to be looting over towards La Bendita. Again, may have to be cautious of Thrust up to the north, but it appears that Thrust, they're not going to be really worried about Auxiliary right now. It's going to be a case of potentially just trying to grab this Picardo Hill, get up onto the high ground, and watch out over on towards Power Grid. VIP with a super wide split up on the northern side do have a bit of work to do here, as Bliss will be moving in early here, trying to get control of the circle wherever possible. So Bryn already taking the warehouse. They are going to send Textile actually up north onto the hill, so we'll see if maybe Maka is able to make something happen out of this, as he will be flanking round here for TNG, playing that side position. He should hear the vehicle from Textile, but it might just be a little bit too far away. That Bronco, the sound it makes is relatively faint, so it could make things a little bit rough here. Textile is going to continue to head up the side of this and likely going to play the top of this cliff. We've seen it used relatively often right here. It's becoming more and more popular in the spot. It wouldn't surprise me to potentially see Textile move up here. As the circle, it is going to start moving soon. Teams have to start thinking about their rotates here. For anyone wondering, by the way, the 2021 Super Rule set, it brings the zone timings into alignment with those in ranked. So if you're wondering, if you maybe watched comp last year and you're wondering, hey, why hasn't the zone started moving yet? That is why they take a little bit longer, allow teams a little bit longer to loot up into the early game, and then, you know, kind of speed up in the late game a little. As we do see Trident now, they are going to be moving through south of Pozo. Big J going to be looking out for this. Deja Vu here with the Mutant with a 4X. I got to say, it's a bit of a risky play here, but it might just work out if he can handle that bullet velocity. It is one of those guns that's fairly easy to spam, but yeah, when you can't hit your shots because that 4X on it, it's unfortunate. That 4, I gotta say, is just near impossible to use. That reticle is absolutely horrible. I cannot blame him for missing those shots there, as 300 will be moving in from the west. Voxic is gonna be waiting. Big J moving through. Voxic just chilling for the time being. And I gotta say 300. A couple people in chat maybe mentioned it, but they're definitely a team to look out for here. I'm excited to see how they end up performing in OCE, because, you know, Voxic and Viha, I mean, Viha are a player that's played a decent amount of OC. The same, I feel like, can't quite be said for Voxic. As head kick here, he does go for the spray. Jonas from uphill will be able to return fire with the Mini 14. Gets the knock and the flush on towards that. Via still in a position to try and take this fight as he spots out Jasper. He has to land these shots on towards the vehicle right now, but instead opting to keep an eye out up over this hill right here, knowing that Big J could be in this position. Big spray comes out on towards Deja Vu, gets the knock on towards him, finishes off as well. As now Jonas and Basic going to be looking to try and push on towards this. The rest of 300, they're a little bit far away. Voxic taking some long-range shots, but they're not really working out right yet, as Viha just going to be forced to make a final stand for the time being up against Big J as they start to get more and more aggressive. Nefaher going to be going for the reposition along with Voxic, as they are both going to be absolutely tagged up inside this position. Big J looking to try and get themselves a little bit of extra damage on towards it. The spray comes out from Voxic. The headshot lands over on towards Basic. Can Viha maybe catch one on the rotate? It doesn't look like it, as Big J opted to go a little bit further up north, potentially try and make their way in towards Pozo here. Voxic still going to continue going for the sprays, though, with the barrel, as the vehicle will spin out. Viha has himself the SLR. There it is. The headshot lands. Jonas going to be going down, flushed out relatively easy now. So 2 down from Big J here. The other 2 remaining players just absolutely dipping out. Really big play coming out from 300 there, even though they did lose head kick early on they are going to be as a 3-man. They've already picked up 2 kill points, and we definitely know that that fragging playstyle is what they're known for more than anything. Speaking of fragging playstyle, Fury going to be moving in from the south over on towards Spectral. Cal just going to be sending it in inside this buggy. Does need to be careful to scout out, as he will be pulling up over the ridge to take a look down. Nothing really going to get spotted, as Spectral have already started their rotate in. They want to get out of here as soon as possible right now. As the circle, let's take a look over at it. It will continue to close. Bazaar going to be moving in behind team process here. Jakey and Akita could potentially post up and cause some issues if they so choose to do so, but it looks like Bazaar, they hear these vehicles, instead going to decide to opt down to the south and work their way in that way. Spectral, they are aware that Fury backfilled on towards this compound, so now Xing Xing going to be looking out down to the south. Not looking like he wants to take shots just yet, unless maybe he can land a big headshot on a standing still player, but you know what? I take that back completely. He's got a suppressor. You may as well just go for them. He takes shots over towards the Bronco. Can't quite finish the job, but it is going to allow Spectral to group up with Heikeman still anchoring down to the south in the event of a really hard southern shift that, you know, it's not beyond all reason that it could happen here. 67 also going to be moving in, as well as Tiger Phone playing a little bit into the aggressor for them. Going to be looking to try and get angles on towards Heikeman, on towards Fury. As the circle now, it is going to move in Team VIP all the way up on the north. Do have a little bit of a way to make it in here, but if a northern circle shift does come out, which, I mean, come on, it's 2021 circles. These hard shifts are just so strong right now. There is a serious possibility that could end up happening, as here it is. Paradox, Killaroo, they're going to be able to spot out Unique, as now I Only Loot Bodies is going to be pinned down behind the buggy. The circle has popped, is pulling over to the west here. Fury and Trident both going to be in very strong positions. Sam's going to be going for the mini shots on towards I Only Loot Bodies. Nothing quite going to be able to connect on towards that, as Youngbloods will be safe for the time being. Insight did manage to move in towards this compound, caught a little bit of fire here. I'm not sure whether it was from Monty or whether it was from Trident over to the west, but either way, now this so-called phase compound is under the control of Fury, but only as a 2-man. It is one of those positions that if you don't have 4 up, it can be very, very easy to crash it. So Ronan and Flood going to be coming to try and backfill here, potentially play the hillside, but they have to be cautious because Trident will have clean line of sight if these players do decide to play the hillside instead of just playing in towards the building here. 300, they're posted up on the northern side, and I mean, if there's one thing they've learned, is that Big J right now are just in a position of giving away points on these rotates. Jasper actually going to be pulling up here. Neferher deciding to disengage with the vehicle. If he took this fight, it could have been huge. He's already taken Jasper down low as he hops out of the vehicle. 2 players left up. Basic going to continue heading round to the west right now. Neferher looking out. He's got himself the SLR, but the real question is, can he make something happen with it? The nade comes out. It's a close bounce, but Jasper going to be able to disengage just in time from this fight. 300 right now. They have Voxic all the way up top, providing cover with that Mini 14, as Viha going to be going for the reposition to potentially try and sneak ground on this. He's killed the engine. He wants to try and sneak in on this. He doesn't want to get over aggressive here. Knows roughly where Jasper's going to be. I'm not sure about Basic, however. There it is. He just needs to land 1 headshot pretty much on towards that level 1 helmet, and he should be able to get the kill as Jasper. He is going to be prepping a flashbang. Nefer going to have the info called out to him now. He should be relatively safe as Viha looking out. He wants to try and land the headshot here, but the shot just isn't quite clean. He doesn't want to give away this position just yet. It can be so strong to work with. It is just going to be a case of right now Neferher and Voxic taking these long-range DMR fights, trying to do a little bit of damage. Voxic going to be looking to try and group up with Nefers. Now Viha should be aware that, you know, Big J aren't wanting to, you know, just rotate out of this. They are looking for the kills, but the shots will finally start to open up here from Viha, doing some big damage on towards Jasper. Not going to be enough for the kill, but Vox, he preps the nade. It's going to be a little bit far. Potentially could get the knock here with the second one. He knows where the player is going to be now. Decides to start making the push. Basic pops up, though. He lands the headshot from range. Viha can't provide much support as he's ran out of ammo. Neferher going to be caught with the headshot as well. Viha, he has to come alive here and do some big damage, but it's looking less and less likely as now Neferher will be getting caught with the flash. He gets the knock on towards Jasper. Now only 1 player left up. It's going to be Basic. Can 300 get the heal on towards this? It's looking like they should be able to, but Viha down to the south is going to be ready to catch these players on the rotate if at all possible. VIP rotating their way through, as we do see TNG taking some shots towards them on the rotate. Maka gonna get himself in a position to try and shoot out of this. We know the Grozer, it can be so powerful, but that window causing big problems. It's just too slim to be able to shoot through effectively. As TNG now, they are going to be rocking a 2-2 splits. They should be able to get aggressive on towards this. Tazzy getting caught with a nade. Now VIP forced to switch up their rotation a little bit here. The vehicle, it nearly flips, and that is going to make it a little easier for these teams to get some shots over towards it. It's actually Gat's going to be the one to open up here on towards Vox. Ignefa gets the trade on towards it. Basic should be aware of this. He should see this in the kill feed. He's looking out. He's got the Mini 14. He needs to peek a little further. There it is. Needs to land the headshot. Decides to go for the flush instead, though. So Nefaha will remain alive for the time being. Getting behind this dip. Voxic has been eliminated. Process peeking out over to the east here. They should be able to get eyes on towards this fight. Viha is just so far away. There's not going to be much he can do right now. He's got a long way to go to really support his teammate. If I was Viha right now, I'd just start the rotate, but Basic is going to be making that final stand for the time being, as the circle, it has closed in. And now things are going to start moving again. It's south of Pozo, so I gotta say teams like Trident 67 are going to be looking very strong in a position like this. More shots coming out here from Basic for Big J. He spots out Akita. He's got himself the Mini 14. Wants to try and land something on towards Jakey, but it isn't looking like it's going to be able to do the job just yet. As Jakovsky from Paradox trying his best to open up here, spots the vehicle flipping from Team VIP. It will be able to get upright eventually, though, so working out for him in the end. Xing gets the knock on towards one here from Auxiliary, and Spectral just catching them on the rotate here. Heikeman with the Mini 14 doing big damage on towards that player on the back of the buggy. One or two more bullets will do the job, but Invis now doing really good return fire from the back of that vehicle. The drive-by DMR meta is just so strong right now. Jakovsky going to be able to get the knock on towards one, as now Invis goes down to Zing. Heikeman going to be the one to get the flush on towards it. And looking over at this circle, Basic, Team Process should be relatively aware of this position. It's just going to be a case of them holding him out and seeing what Basic does decide to rotate through. Akita going for the shots with the Mini 14. He is inside zone for the time being, but realistically, making it into the late game for Basic right now is going to be a very tough feat, especially if the circle ends up pulling down to the south. He's got to get all the way up this cliff. The same can still be said, however, for teams like Youngbloods and VIP that have to get over this cliff sooner or later. Fury going to be playing slow inside the shack, but never mind, because Sweet Soul is prepared for it. The hit fire comes out. Down goes Fury. Fury Oz, I should bear in mind the player, not the squad. VIP will be losing one now. Tazzy, beautiful little headshot angle on towards Sweet Soul there, catching him through the window. Can a molly maybe land? Surely not. It's going to be a little bit short, but it's going to make the Youngbloods a little bit nervous right now. They only have one player left up. It's going to apply a little bit of pressure. Beef takes down Ace Gun on the rotate. Going to be able to get the kill on towards that. So Auxiliary just slowly burning through players one by one. Now, Big J finally do get eliminated. It's actually going to be Paradox that pick up the kill on towards it. Killaroo doing some big work over there. Tazzy looking to try and spot something out, but still nothing really landing just yet. Heikeman in the south makes it in towards Montana Huevos. The circle is going to hard shift over to the east now. It's going to be a rough one for a lot of these teams, but teams like VIP are going to be looking very confident in it. They've got themselves a nice dip to work with. It's just going to be a case of fighting out of it, as now TNG will decide to go and play a little bit split, moving in more and more, going to edge their way in and potentially go for the crash on towards this sooner or later. Down on the southern side, we do see Spectral. They started to make the push. Xing has gone down, so did Heikeman. Ginto going to be able to take him down with the Mini 14. Two players left up here for Spectral game, and it's going to be Mr. Clay and Illyrius trying their best to make their way in, as now finally Youngbloods will be getting eliminated. VIP getting one, and I believe it was TNG that picked up the second there. So Team Youngbloods will be going down. And now we have a bit of a rough position here for Team Spectral to really make their way through. Screws are going to be keeping an eye out. Wants to go for the spray on towards Mr. Clay. Does some big damage with it. Switches over to the Mini, but for the time being, Mr. Clay should be relatively safe. Looking over on the eastern side now. The crash will be coming out as Bliss going to be playing on towards this hillside. They do have to be a little bit cautious as now Thrust will be losing one. Auxiliary from range, get the knock on towards that as more nades start to rain in now. This could end up being absolutely huge, but they're just a little bit short. They're doing a little bit of damage, but not really getting any kills now. As round on the side angle, Monty and Rain both getting caught with a little bit of damage. McZoris has been tagged up low, however. There's now Spectral going to be getting third party by Mr. Clay. The nade comes in. Beautiful nade coming out from Monty as he hits the spray on towards one as well. That leaves 6 as the final player left up. Textile comes over the top, and there it is. Team Bliss with no real problem picking up 3 kills in the early game. 13 teams remaining. We saw Spectral. They lost 1 to Fury as well, as now there's only going to be 2 players left up. Heikeman doing what he can to return the fire, but Speedy doing some big damage on towards him. Illyrius also trying to return fire, but nothing really working out right there. Over on the western side, Neverheard, the final player left up here, 14,300. Illyrius going for the mini shots, lands the headshot on towards Cruiser, but not going to be enough to pick up any kills here. As Bizarre, they're just about inside zone. They're in a position they could try and hold him out, but what a 3x spray coming out here from Heikeman to be able to connect on towards Mirage Flare. We did see VIP go down. Screws are going to be looking to try and get the trade. Illyrius takes down 1. Heikeman moving in more and more on towards this position. Pre-fires on towards the doorway. It's not going to work out, though, as Ginto picks up the 2K. There it is. Bizarre Gaming going to be able to clean up Spectral down in 11th, but they've lost 2 players. The zone's going to be creeping in on them. They have to get these revives off quickly as the circle will start moving in. Neferher still alive here for 300. He's made it into the top 10. 4 kills already. It's just a case of him trying to play slow right now, but decides to almost give away his position a little bit now. Throws down the smoke. Will be a bit of a bait here for Paradox to try and work their way through. Maybe, you know, almost wanting them to slow down, making sure they can't push from any side angles, but it will give them a relatively strong idea of where he's going to be inside of this as he does prep the Molotov in case of these players deciding to push. If the smoke didn't give it away, the Molotov definitely will. The nade comes through. It's going to take him down low, but not enough to get the kill right now. Shakovsky with a really nice bank shot off the wall. Another one comes through. Nefer going to be going for the heal. He's down to 13 HP, and there it is, Paradox. They're going to be making the push in. Jakovsky cleans that one up. Down goes Nefer. 300 eliminated in 10th. There's now a lot of teams that are going to be forced to move in. Trident, considering their position, they haven't got many big kills so far this game, and I got to say, Fury, at least they've been putting out the knocks, even if they haven't got any kills so far. Jakey will be getting caught over on the western side here by Team Process, I should say. It's going to be TNG opening up on towards that. Fury just doing so much damage out of this compound right now. Big plays coming out for them, but I mean, the real problem right here is going to be for teams like Bizarre with Bliss over on the east and 67 over on the west. Ginto will be able to take down Tiger Foam. As now actually Rookie with a nice little 2-piece over on towards Tchaikovsky, and but Takeda going to be coming in from the side angle. Takes down Sands. That leaves Killer Roo as the final player left up for them. Fury, as soon as we move away, they start doing big damage over on towards Bizarre. Mirage goes down to the zone. There it is. Bizarre going to be getting eliminated by the play zone, forced in by Fury. Beautiful work coming out from them there, as Sands will be getting flushed out by Rookie. Killer Roo going to decide to continue heading down the hill. It's going to make things a little bit rough now, as 67, they still have a bit of a way to make it into the zone from the southern side. It will make things a little bit rough for them. Rookie going for the spray on towards Butts, going to be able to get the flush on towards it. Killer Roo, the final player left up, going to be catching a lot of fire here. Jamguchi going for the SLR spray, as Fury going to be doing the same. Killer Roo here is just absolutely pinned down. One more bullet will do the trick. Who's going to be the one to claim it? There it is, Jamguchi with the SLR. Paradox down in 8th. We're into a top 7. We're into the placement points, by the way, so that means that, you know, he will be able to at least pick up 1, but now is where the placement points start to stack up. We do see 7922. What the hell is that name? Will be able to take down Tiger Home. Subject Nest running in with the zone right here, but he is so low. Monty going to be able to connect on towards that as he hear the shots come over. There he goes down. Goes one more from 67. Thursday, the final player left up. And yeah, this is not looking great for him right here. Fury are going to be in a position to potentially take this fight, but for the time being, looks like Thursday just going to be going down to blue sooner or later. Bliss are in a position to potentially hold out Fury here, as Garfield going to be able to get the knock and the flush on towards Rookie. So Bliss are posted up to take this fight on towards Fury, but they have Rain all the way up on the northern side. He's going to have to pretty much run in the open to make it in. Thursday does go down to the blue zone, as Maka is going to be aware of this. He's looking down towards it with the SLR, knows that Bliss have at least one over towards this position. As now Fury, they do start to try and make a move here. Waika Kamukau going to be caught by Textile with that mini 14, but Monty getting caught out as well in return. This is the danger that Bliss take here when they rock one of these positions where, sure, they can get aggressive onto Fury, they can hold a team out, but from long range, if TNG crest over, they can do so much damage, which we're seeing off Cherry now as he starts to move in more and more. Ronan does start to prep the nade. Is it going to be enough? As fire coming in from TNG, it's certainly close, but it doesn't quite land on towards Bryn now. Cherry opening up big time here with that mini 14, but it's not going to be enough to really get any kills right now. Cherry landing on towards Rain, as now Bliss, they're going to be forced to group up. They know there's going to be players down. Fury want to open up here. More nades coming down. Renock on towards Monty. Rain preps his own nade. Tries to get it over the ridge, but he doesn't know exactly where Fury are going to be right now. Bryn also trying to move around to the side here as Monty is down. Textile doing what he can to provide support with that mini 14, but with a team like TNG from behind, it can just be so deadly. Nice shots landing from Textile, though, as he does land the double headshot. Rain going to be getting knocked off of the peak from Ronan. Bryn, it looked like he wanted to go for the res here, but it's going to be Big Boy Maka from behind that gets the flush on towards it. TNG now 5 kills. This is a pretty big start for them to this game. They didn't have the strongest one last game, making it 6 now as Maka lands the headshot. 1 player left up here. Sorry, 2 players left up. It's going to be Bryn and Textile, but they are caught between a rock and a hard place. Rock being Fury, hard place being TNG. They're trying to spam through the smokes, but it's just looking less and less likely in a position like this. Maka from range with the SLR. 1 more shot on towards Flood. He will be able to get the knock. It's actually Snow that gets the knock on towards that. Ronan goes down as well, though. So does Waika Kamukau. That's a huge play coming out here from Team Bliss, as Textile going to be able to clean that one up. Down go Fury out in 5th, but Textile, he's absolutely pinned right now. Big Boy Maka knows there's going to be a play around here. That is absolutely massive. Haim Korea going down as well. The Team Process go down in 4th. Maka doing what he can to flex around on towards this. Preps the nade is going to be a little bit long, but the SLR shot's coming out on towards Textile. The Groza should be able to finish the job, if nothing else. Maka moves down. The frag going to come out. There it is. He's looking certainly close, and it looks like Textile's game is over. Down go Team Bliss in 3rd. 2 teams remaining. TNG versus Team Trident. TNG with 8 kills already. Trident with not quite as many, but still, they've had center circle. They've been able to play off of it. They haven't had the best sight lines. They're making it work. It's a 4 versus 4 fight. So right now, it is just going to be one of those games where things slowly come to a bit of a standstill here. TNG, they have the zone advantage. Drop will come down here. I doubt it's going to be grabbed, but we'll see what it is just out of interest. It's an all. Not too useful in the late game, but right by design, looking out here. Snow getting caught by Maka. As now it's just a case of TNG, they just want to hold out Team Trident as much as possible right here. Cherry still taking some shots. It's just about holding out pressure at this point because they know Trident have to make a push through. They know it's completely open. They know that TNG should pretty much secure this game. There's always that possibility, which is why we have Snow working out. Maka be able to spot him from the side angle. The vehicle rotate going to be coming in here. SLR shots do land. 1 more would have finished the job. But now Maka, he's got himself in a bit of a rough position. The rest of the team having to provide some big support right here as Cherry opens up with that mini 14. Maka, he starts to prep that utility. Is it going to be long enough? It's a little bit too short. If only he had a frag grenade, the bounce might just do the trick, but the Molotov's coming out for the time being now. Snow still up in this side angle, watching out over for Maka. Not going to be able to spot him out right here. Cherry playing the high ground. Knows roughly where Garfield's going to be, but they also have to be cautious, knowing that Snow could sneak out at any second. Husey coming in to provide some support here for Big Boy Maka. Smaka still focusing on towards the compound. This is interesting here. I'm not sure whether TNG realized quite how many players actually rotated in that vehicle, maybe expecting it to only be 1 or 2 players trying to hold a side angle. In fact, it is going to be the entire squad. Light by Design opens up on towards Jamguchi here, as there it is. Cherry gets the knock on towards Snow. He wants to go for the repeat on towards this, as Maka going to continue landing the Molotovs. They're just going to be a little bit too short range. Snow is caught, so now it's a 3 versus 4 position. There's big boy Maka picking up his 5th kill of the game. Maka going to start working his way round on towards this. Knows that Trident are here. The real question is, are we maybe going to see TNG make a push on towards this? Is Maka going to get aggressive? Because as the next zone pops, we'll see whether it pulls towards them or whether, you know, Trident are going to be inside the zone a little bit longer in just a couple seconds. There it is. It is going to pull up to TNG. So, Trident, they have a bit of a fight ahead of them. Light by Design, he's already caught his helmet with a lot of damage here. A couple more headshots might just finish the job. Light by Design has been able to spot out one, but he gets the fire returned onto him quickly here. Going to be forced to drop down and go for the heal. Light by Design out of the fight. Cherry starting to get aggressive as well here. So, Maka and Cherry looking at trying to move together. Husey still providing a little bit of support from above. Flashbangs will be coming out. This could be Maka's opportunity to go for the entry frag right here. Spots out Garfield, gets the knock on towards that. The Grows are coming out big here. He tries to spot out another Saviors. The flashbang will land through. This will give some good info. Cherry, he's only got 25 bullets to work with here. He needs to drop himself that DMR to be able to take this fight, but I mean, it looks like another Savior got caught up as well. There it is. Maka from behind. He lands the headshot. Jamguchi, the final player left up here, caught with his own Molotov. What a way to go. There it is. Down go Trident. TNG are game 2 winners. What an impressive game coming out from TNG there, it has to be said. Very well played, picking themselves up a good number of kills. And I gotta say, it felt for a minute like Bliss were going to be able to hold out Fury down on that southern side, but the individual plays just coming out huge for them, and it works out in the end. So Bliss holding out Fury very, very effectively there for our first game, and that really held Fury out of making it into those final placements. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a very short break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with our final Miramar game of the evening. Well, with game number 2 in the books, so that means one thing. We are heading into our final Miramar game of the evening. After TNG's huge win, being able to, you know, take that northern side and just absolutely frag out of it. Really nice third parties coming out from them. They were able to just secure the zone well. My name is Chunks. I'm going to be your host for the evening, and in just 45 seconds, we'll be hopping in to game number 3. But for the time being, let's take a look over at the standings. And currently, Fury out in first with 34 points after, you know, game 1 was pretty huge for them with the win. Game 2, it wasn't bad. They picked up some serious kills, but TNG, they are starting to creep their way up with 26 points. Team Bliss and Trident each with 17 as well. They do have a bit of a way to go, but honestly, there is still plenty of games remaining in this series. It's going to be an exciting one to watch, it has to be said. I just can't wait to see exactly how everything ends up unfolding and seeing if these teams that are traditionally up at the top are going to be able to continue up there and carry on that momentum that we've seen come out of things like LPL that have just been absolutely huge for the OCE scene. But here it is, game number 3 of the evening. Let's take a look over into it. I promise one day I will remember to update the game number before we actually get into it. Here it is, similar to last game's plane. Everyone should be able to get where they need to go. Pretty much south to north. No real issues there. However, we saw how even off a seemingly peaceful plane can get an absolutely horrible circle like that, where teams are just scrapping for hillsides, and it really comes down to who can fight their way out of the city the strongest. As you know, taking a look over at things, it's going to be interesting to see how teams end up dropping. It looks like Trident and Big J should be relatively safe, not really engaging onto each other too much here. Auxiliary, however, oh no, it's happening again. It's happening again. 36 Cartel and Youngbloods both coming into Hacienda a second time in a row. You think they would have learned after game number 2. But no, they are not afraid to fight this here. As we'll just bind some hotkeys real quick for Youngbloods, because, I mean, they came out on top last time. So let's see if they can repeat that success here. Youngbloods are going to be keeping an eye out, so Sama around to the side is going to be watching out here. The loot bodies starting to move in more as Sweet Soul grabs a Mini 14. Lots of minis here, not really any ARs, unfortunately, as the Scar and the AK going to be the only two inside for the time being. Player 4 also clearing his way through as the barrel shots will start to open up from Asper here. Doing a bit of damage. He's holding on towards that angle. I don't think need to worry about pushing that just yet. 8 players, 1 building to play. It's going to be a messy one, and I don't think teams are going to play it as aggressively as last game. I think we're probably going to see them maybe tone it down a little, not get super aggressive. I say that, however, there it is. Unique getting caught out on the roof. Asper going to be able to get the knock on towards that, so let's see if 36 Cartel decide to engage on towards this and move down a little more. Molly's nades, they are all going to be coming through. Sweet Soul looking to try, then hold the angle on towards Asper. The pre-fire going to come through on towards the doorway. The shotgun, however, isn't quite going to be enough here. As Champ's holding on through the middle just in case any players do decide to push. Unique going to be tagged down low. Sweet Soul, the final player, really making a stand here for Youngbloods. Got the shotgun here. Going to be able to try and take down these players from 36 Cartel. Sama pushes in. Huge knock coming out with the shotgun. The flick working out. Asper going to be able to take down one as well. There's now only 2 players left up. It's going to be I only loot bodies and Unique, because Unique is already absolutely lit up. I only loot bodies is going to be trying to make a final stand. 36 Cartel, they should be able to get the heals off. Unique is just playing this wall here. Player 4 appears to be relatively aware of this position, but not giving away anything just yet. Loot Bodies has been able to get the heal. Now Champs is back in, but no real meds to work with here. No vests. And the only helmet that's really in the fight is down to just 1 HP. That is not ideal here for Youngbloods. As they are all going to be low HP, it appears that 36 Cartel are aware of this, as Champs going to be going down to Asper. Unique with the sign angle, tries to return the fire. Not going to be enough, as the final player left up for Youngbloods is going to be disengaging, trying to get away from this, as flashes come out just as a little bit of distraction maybe. But yeah, 36 Cartel. They've turned this around. You know, it was Youngbloods that picked it up last time. Now it's 36 Cartel. You can see why these teams are fighting. But honestly, in a series like this where it's 6 games a day, you need to be a little cautious. And you know what? I'm not going to jinx it, but I'll tell you, I am really hoping for a hard south shift here. A Hegos Circle would be so entertaining to watch, I have to say, as Bazaar are going to be kind of set up for a zone like this really well. Over on the western side, we do actually see 300 going to be taking some shots over towards Light by Design, as Headkick looking to try and get an angle on towards this TNG, going for the rotate here. Voxic taking a couple big shots. Viha going to be trying to do the same. Moving around, but Light by Design has been able to disengage. There it is. Unique finally going down. Youngbloods out in 16th there, so not ideal at all. Is now looking over at the map. A lot of teams going to have a very rough time rotating in. It does appear that Mirage Flare here for Bazaar is going to be pretty aggressive on towards Trident's compound here. Playing the low ground. Not wanting to get too aggressive just yet. Jamguchi going to be working his way through. Bazaar have the info, but I'm not sure whether they're really going to make a crash off of this. It seems like 2 vehicles came in, so Bazaar should be relatively aware that there are, you know, at least 2 or 3 players inside here. Maybe not expecting the full squad, but it still stands. Another Savior will be flexing out a little here over on towards Mirage Flare, as Bazaar will be moving up higher and higher. Scruiser with the 6x on the M16. I gotta say, it's not the strongest. Let's see if he can maybe make something happen. Savior will be tagged up. Not going to be enough to really hit any big kills, however, as Trident for the time being will just be chilling right now. Mirage Flare holding down behind this cliff. Just really playing slow, hoping that Bazaar are going to be, hoping that the rest of Bazaar, I should say, are going to be able to cause enough of a distraction to really prevent Trident from moving down and flexing onto this. Mirage might be able to get a couple kills out of this, but with a circle like this, these teams are going to be in a stalemate for at least the next phase or 2, especially if this pulls down to the south. Speaking of which, TNG, they're going to be banking for the southern shift. Bonus points right here already I want to be handed to them, because look at this. They're banking on it. They know it's a possibility, and I'll be honest, I've never had the opportunity to cast a Los Higos prison circle. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm hoping that we maybe see one today, even though I'm sure these teams would absolutely hate to see it. Over on the eastern side, Process. With a circle like this, you can't be risking those late rotates, which appears to be the case for a lot of these squads, as Paradox also going to be going for a bit of a late one over on towards 36 Cartel. As we did see, you know, they were able to get their teammate out of here, so Mirage Flare has been able to group up with the rest of the squad. A bit of a distraction coming out here for Bazaar for support. But you know what? It's going to get them safety here, as Mirage going to be dipping out of this inside the Bronco. Bazaar will now at least be able to rotate in where they need to go to. The problem is it took them a while to get this player out of the compound, meaning that the teams like Big J, like 67, have been able to move into the circle here, kind of limiting their rotation options right now. So Bazaar, that only really can have a couple compounds to play with. And if the circle goes south, they are going to be in a good position. However, they can make that swim early. They don't really have to worry too much, as we do see Spectral and Gaming are going to be grouping up over on the northern side, with Team Bliss moving in from above them. Bryn opens up with a couple shots from behind the rock, so the rest of the squad will be going for a reposition, not looking like they want to take the fight on towards this just yet. Fire getting returned, however, by Heikeman over on towards it. Nothing really landed. The circle will continue to close in. 2 minutes till it's completely closed, and we get to see exactly what the internet shift is going to be, because I got to tell you, I'm super excited. If this pulls down towards this island, it's going to be absolutely huge, which is why you see teams like TNG already posting up. They know if they get this island early, they're pretty much guaranteed a high point game. Whether it's kills, whether it's placement, it's going to work out well for them. They're going to have the opportunity to hold out a lot of squads, so I like it. And realistically, it's a lot easier to rotate off of this island than back onto it if, you know, every team is trying to cluster onto that southern island. So I like the play coming out here from TNG. I fully support what they are doing right there. Is Waikikamuka going to be able to get the knock on towards Jamguchi? I'm not sure how likely a flush is here, as there is going to be some hard cover. Ronan going to be catching some underneath. There it is. Jamguchi's out of it. Waikikamuka getting the flush on towards that. Really tight angle to be able to get the kill. Very impressive indeed. Underneath these wooden things, very good shooting there from Fiori. Is getting the early game kills in a circle like this could be absolutely huge, because the more players that are left standing towards the end, the harder your time is going to be in terms of surviving, because players are going to be clustered together very early in a zone like this. So the sooner you take out those players and get it down to just a couple rats, the easier things become. Tiger Phone will be taking a little bit of damage from Fioris. He did open up some shots. VIP up on the western side, finally making their way in. Team Process with a super late rotate here, still all the way over outside Leonis. They have a while to go here. It's interesting to see how this is going to work out for them. If I was Process right now, I would be definitely switching up this, maybe trying to rotate in a little earlier. Sometimes you just got to sacrifice the loot to be able to get yourself a good zone position. As Mr. Clay now, he will hear Rain from Team Bliss taking some shots from up on this hill, so he is going to start trying to get aggressive round to the side angle here for Spectral Gaming. Is actually Voxic going to be getting caught with a headshot here? It's 300 going to be losing a player. I didn't see where exactly that was. Actually called out very in the open, so Big Shade going to be looking to potentially get the flush on towards this. There it is. Eliorus, I believe it's pronounced. Hilarious, I was saying it. Eliorus going to be able to get the knock over on towards one here for Team Bliss. Rain looking to try and return fire as Mr. Clay flanking his way around slowly but surely. The problem is right here for Spectral is that their entire team is in this compound. It's all down to Mr. Clay. And if Bliss are able to get a second player onto this hill, it could be absolutely huge. So Clay just moving up ever so carefully, trying to make his way over this ridge. And it appears that Rain is maybe aware of it now. He does switch over to the M4. I'm not sure whether it's him hearing the shots or maybe just a bit of game sense. It's actually going to be Bryn and Tactile to spot him out from range, though. Mr. Clay goes down as Rain pops up. The flush going to come out. Bliss going to be able to pick up a nice, easy point there. And well, this is a tough one here. It's pulled down to the south. The real question is, does it pull south again? We have one more phase until that water shift comes in. There's the possibility it goes hard down to the south now, as Paradox will be making a rotate through. Fury have a bit of a hill between them, so they're not going to be able to take any big shots just yet, but it's going to continue heading down. The real question is now, if you're one of those teams that is down on the south coast, do you make the swim now, or do you wait till the late game? Killaroo going to be able to crash in here. Flood getting taken extremely low. Ronan gets the trade on towards him in return, however, as down goes Sands as well. Jakovsky going to be pulling up. Insight gets the knock on towards that, as now the final player left up. It's going to be Butts. He's going for the seat swap because it's 2021, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough, as Fury on their 5th kill of the game. Very impressive indeed. Big plays coming out here from Fury, as now the real question is, what do teams do? Do they commit down to the south in the possibility of yet another hard shift going into phase 3, or do they just stay up top and know that all likelihood says that the water shift is going to force things up to the north? It is up in the air at the moment, but you definitely see TNG taking the southern side, making sure that no one is going to be able to cross that water for free. As we did see, Thrust, they got themselves a drop. I'm not sure whether they decided to take what was in it. It is going to be an AUG, so they are leaving it behind. But of course, taking that 3 gear, it is just so powerful. Saves you from so much, especially when those headshots hit. As now, it's just going to be a case of TNG kind of posted up here. It appears that Light by Design knows that Tazzy is over here. Maybe saw a bit of movement earlier, not going to be opening up just yet. As endgame, I'm not sure what the thought is here, whether he's going to try and start swimming or whether maybe he just fell off the cliff. But he will be down in the water for VIP. It could end up working out big for them. And right now, I got to say, Light by Design and the rest of TNG, just have the southern side completely under their control. Mirage Flare and Speedy K are going to be taking some long-range shots over towards them, but I don't think they really have to worry too much. You know, there is a lot of range between them. There's no real way that teams are able to push off of this. Gats is going to still be up here for VIP, split from the rest of the team. We'll be able to take down Invis, spots out Ace Gun as well. I'm not sure whether Ace Gun spotted him in return, as Gat's going to be going for a reposition. He's taking a little bit of blue damage. Voxic from behind could potentially connect for 300 here and do a lot of big damage, but for the time being, they're not going to be getting too aggressive. Gat's just playing slow, doesn't want to give anything away in terms of the footsteps. We'll throw X-Ray on as Ace Gun wants to start working through. There it is. Gat's going to be able to pick up the kill, followed by the flush. 2 kills here for Gats, as now 300 are going to be in position to try and hold this. The zone, unfortunately for me, it is going to shift slightly central, meaning that Higa circles, unless somehow the land ratio breaks here, are not really going to be happening. It's likely going to hard shift up north over towards teams like Spectral here because of all the water that's in it. If you guys didn't know, phase 4 is when the circle shifts away from water, so that is very unfortunate indeed. But Jakey here over on the eastern side will be able to get the knock on towards Subject Nest, trying to do a little bit of damage as he is looking for the flush, but aware that 67 could have a couple more players around. He's going to be looking for the flush on towards Subject Nest. There it is. Well, there it is soon. Just deciding to punch him out. No. You good, bro? He gives up with the punch. Just goes for the shots. There it is. Jakey getting the flush on towards Subject Nest as 67 going to be losing one player. They are going to be in a good circle position, however. Let's see if Rookie can maybe make a change to that, as he will be sneaking up behind. Could do a bit of damage over on towards them, as he does get over this ridge. The closer he gets, the higher risk he's in. But with Haim Korea down to the south and Jakey up to the north, he should be pretty covered from all angles. It's just going to be a case of trying to sneak on towards these squads. As Thrust over in the center. 2 players remaining, trying to survive as long as possible. And TNG, they made the swim, and now they have to run the gauntlet. Bazaar going to be looking down towards this, taking a lot of shots. But for the time being, TNG, they've got themselves a compound. They're going to be inside circle. Big Boy Maka from, that must be like 400-500 meters away, is going to be landing some SLR shots. He can't quite finish the job, but it'll definitely be providing pressure here for TNG as they do make this cross. 36 Cartel here, taking shots over on towards Fury, trying to keep their heads down. Both teams also inside of the zones. They don't have to worry too much. So 36 Cartel, just keeping an eye out for the time being. Spectral here are going to be able to third party onto this. Mirage Flare getting caught by Jing Jing. The nade flush will be coming out potentially, as we did see Akita goes down here for Team Process. VIP actually going to be getting pushed here by 300. Head kick's gone down, but Viha going to be the opening fragger here for 300. Looking to try and do a bit more damage to the end game from the side angle, able to land some shots. AK spray comes through, 7 bullets left for Viha, and there it is with the second to last bullet in the gun. Down goes VIP, down in 14th position. That is very unfortunate, as now 300. Are they going to be able to catch this player on the rotate here, as Auxiliary making the push in? The AK spray comes through. Voxic going to be able to land the headshot on towards Orcs. And there it is, the job getting finished off. Neferher with the AK lands the headshot. Down go Auxiliary, down in 13th. But over on the eastern side, 36 Cartel, they heard Rookie open up. He managed to get a kill already. Now's the question, can Rookie pick up any more? As Susama going to be moving around the side, goes to the spray. On towards Rookie, gets the knock on towards it. No real challenge going to be coming out here from Team Process, but they do have 2 players down this hill who have to be very cautious, because Rookie was kind of holding that anchor position, playing behind. 67 also going to be pinned down here inside the smokes, doing what they can to try and survive, as 36 Cartel, they're taking shots from one angle, and they've sent 2 players all around the other side. This could work out as big pinch, but it could also work out as big misplay, because it will come down to a 3 versus 2 fight more than likely, as player 4 is going to be pinned down inside this compound from the northern side. 10 seconds till the zone moves. TNG have made the cross, but they're not inside circle just yet. Monty getting the knock on towards Tiger Foam here, and this is what 67 had to worry about now. Teams like Bliss from super long range starting to get involved, taking big shots over towards them. Good play coming out here from Monty, as now he will try and land a couple more over on towards Big J. But in this position, they don't have to worry too much. There's a lot of dips that can be playable. But the chance of teams actually pushing on towards you and taking a team fight are very slim. It just comes down to that DMR ability. Rain, however, is going to be a little bit split from the rest of the squad. Will hear Fury sneaking up inside the vehicles as Heikeman from range going to be able to do some big damage over on towards him. He gets down behind cover, throws down the smoke, but now this has been Fury's opportunity to make a push in. Bliss have been distracted as Bryn getting taken down low here by Ron, and big damage coming out. Insight decides to prep the nade. Is it going to be close enough? It's certainly looking like it could be. It's inside the dip, but it's just a little bit too far right now. Monty's still up the hill, has to be cautious of. Big J over here as they start to make a push in towards Spectral Gaming right now. Deja Vu going to start working over the ridge to sneak his way up. The nades do come out. Xing with the M4 spray, trying to land something. He takes the players low, but no knocks really coming out on towards Big J here. They appear to be relatively safe. 67 will be losing Tiger Foam as Frozen Sniper gets the flush on towards that aim. Career goes down to Jinx. Xing needs to try and peek up over the top here and hold out Big J. An opening knock would be absolutely vital here for a team like Spectral Gaming, but it is actually going to be Bizarre from range, third party and onto it. Down goes Basic. The smokes will be coming out. Jasper looking to try and push, but now Fury versus Bliss. Fury make the push over on towards this. Bryn going to be going down as Monty focused on this fight up against Spectral with the third body. He takes down Larius as now Zing, the final player left up here for Spectral. What an absolute mess up on this northern side as all teams, they're just forced into each other so early here. Xing gets the flush on towards one as Fury grabbed control of the northern side. 300 now. They start to make a push in down on the south. 5 kills already for them. They're looking to add to it. Screws are holding the side angle. Maybe spotted out Viha, but it isn't looking too lightly. As Headkick getting caught from range by Sigs. Only Viha and him do remain. Heikeman going to be going down to the Molotov. Down go Big J and Spectral looking like they're about to follow right here as Monty doing some big damage over on towards them. Headkick and Viha still standing, but the question is just for how long, as Neferher is bleeding out as well. Head kick goes down. Viha, the final player, throwing down some smokes for a little bit of cover, but it's not looking too promising right now as Sigs from range going to be opening up on towards this. Is going to make things very, very rough. Viha just chilling for the time being as Xing does go down. Bizarre going to be able to clean that one up. The circle is actually pulled down hard to the south here, so all these northern teams, they're going to have to make a move. Let's see if anyone managed to save their vehicles for long enough. I don't really expect much to come out in terms of vehicles. They shouldn't have been lit up too bad. They should have been able to get into those dips. That's how most teams made their rotations. But the problem is when you're in these dips, it's very easy to start wandering away from those vehicles on foot, trying to clear through. And that could prove a problem here for a lot of these squads. Asper will be able to take down McZoris now as Rain also going to be getting eliminated. Monty, the final player left up, catching a lot of fire here from Fury up on the top of the hill. They're going to be looking down in this direction. Haim Career going to be able to take down Frozen Sniper right now as McZoris also going to be eliminated. Asper gets the flush on towards that 36 cartel with 6 kills, and they got all the players inside zone. Trident up on the northern side. Big shots coming out here from Garfield Low, landing big damage on towards Flood, but once again, those windows, they're just a little too skinny. You can't quite get the angles you maybe want to right here. Viha, he lands the kill on towards Ginto, but the second one not going to work out. Mirage going to be able to pick that one up. Bizarre trying to get the heal, but there is still TNG over on the west here that are looking to try and punish. Right now, though, Light by Design, he's focused on towards Monty as Bliss going to be going down. Mirage Flare lands the SLR shots over on towards Big Boy Maka. He's looking out of the fight for the time being. Let's see if maybe Cherry can do some damage on towards this from all the way down the hill, but the ridge is going to provide some cover here for Team Bizarre. Snow with the SK, trying to land something. Is the molly going to be close enough as Ronan doing some big damage on towards it? Frags do come through on towards Flood, but not quite enough to finish off the job. Taking even more damage here. The frag grenades, I feel like the bounce on the frags can just make a huge difference to these teams. As now Trident, they will start to move up more and more. Waikika Mukau on the side angle gets the knock over on towards another savior, I should say, as Garfield going to be able to get the trade. Insight going to be looking to try and move through. He gets the flush on towards another savior, but it's not going to be enough to pick up the kill on towards the second. Rodden preps the Molotov, throws it down on towards Snow as Garfield's tagged up. Snow just forced to play a position that is just absolutely impossible right now. The Molotov's going to be behind him. He's got a rock on the other side. The nade's just landing through. He is alive for the time being, but this is going to be so rough with Fury focusing all of their attention for you right now. The zone moves in, another Molotov lands, and it looks like Snow just potentially going to try and deny the points here. Doesn't want to overextend. Ronan doing some big damage. There it is. Down go Trident to the zone. Out in 7th, we're into our top 6 teams. Fury, however, they made a lot of noise up on the northern side, and with the zone pulling even further south, it is going to be very, very rough for them right now. They've got a long way to go. As now, Bizarre, they've been inside the zone for a while. Now's the time to start coming alive. Maka going to be going down as they're looking to try and find Light by Design and Cherry as well. As Cherry actually going to be all the way down the hill. Could cause a bit of a thorn in the side of Bizarre right now, because I'm not sure whether they're really expecting him to be in this position. The downside, however, is this hillside is just so open. It means that teams up at the top can just farm down to the players down at the bottom. But that being said, the same is true the other way around. So if, you know, he is able to survive long enough to keep, you know, hidden undercover, he could absolutely execute on towards Bizarre right now. As Fury, they've got a rough rotate ahead of them. Bizarre, Light by Design, and 36 Cartel all looking over in their direction. They're going to be aware of this. Aim Korea with some nice shots on towards Sigs, but not quite enough to get the kill. Jakey going to be looking to try and capitalize on it, though. Jakey moving on more and more aggressively. Doesn't know exactly where Sigs is going to be. As he starts to get aggressive, sprays will come out. Jakey deciding to back off of this team process. They don't need to push this just yet, because Asba could still cause some problems here. 36 Cartel opting to play a little bit split, as Asba, not sure whether he realizes that Haim's down here. It seems like Haim maybe has an idea that he is. Flashbang coming out. Not going to work out. Flood gets the knock on towards Light by Design. It's actually going to be Mirage Flare that gets the flush on towards it. Fury starting to open up now up on this northern side as this ain't looking ideal for them, honestly. They have a bit of a wide split going on. They're going to try and make their way in, but with Bizarre just absolutely posted up down below, it's going to be rough. Sigs is going to be able to get the knock on towards Haim Korea right now as he goes for the heal, wants to drop that an adrenaline syringe to survive as long as possible. Jakey's still alive, 14 process, maybe expecting Asba to still be standing, but he's made the cross. He's grouped up with the rest of the team now. Bizarre looking like they want to get in a position to take this fight. Mirage Flare going for the spray on towards Flood here, but it's going to be running from the side angle that picks up the trade. Well, close enough, actually. He does some damage, but he's not going to be able to get the actual knock on towards Bizarre. Ronan still playing the backside of this. Is Insight going to be going for the res on towards his teammate, 36 Cartel. Also looking to try and get involved now. Player 4 has been able to take down Ginto as Asper going to be moving down. It looks like 36 Cartel trying to back off this a little. Molotovs will be coming in. Insight flushes out. Ginto will be able to pick up yet another point. It's now Bizarre. Speedy, he's getting ready to peek over the top. Barrel spray comes out, takes down Flood. Going to take down Insight as well. One player left up. It's going to be Ronan. He tries to make the trade. It's not going to work out. Fury now down in 6th position. Bizarre, however, with only 2 players remaining, they need to get the res onto Mirage and make it back to a 3-man. Because otherwise, they're going to be in trouble, and it looks like Mirage, he's going to be bleeding out sooner or later if they're not able to get the res. As 36 Cartel are going to be down to the south, and I got to say, TNG, they have Cherry still alive, and somehow the closest player to the zone, and this is just, honestly, there's no other way to put this than this is a horrible zone for all of these teams. So much open terrain. It's just going to be a case of playing chicken almost, seeing who's going to be the last team to actually rotate into circle here. As 3 solos, 2 3-mans. Bizarre are going to look like they want to start flexing. So they will hear 36 Cartel moving in. Asper's footsteps getting heard out as the flashbangs will start to come out from Mirage Flare. Bizarre getting ready for this as more flashes coming over. Susama will be caught with them. Asper wants to start getting aggressive. Pete comes over, gets the knock on towards Mirage. The trade coming out, however, from Screwzer. Speedy goes down. Screwzer, the final player left up. Can he take down player 4? Yes, he can. 13 kills now for Bizarre. Screwzer going to be trying to stick the res here. The Rust also getting eliminated. So, Jakey and Cherry, the 2 remaining solos, up against the 3-man of Bizarre. Let's see if they can get the res here, that is. Speedy will be getting res. The zone is moving in. They're able to pop it off in the end. And gotta say now, if you're Bizarre, you gotta be a little nervous. At the same time, however, the chances of these solos deciding to pipe up and get involved in this are pretty slim. They probably think there's still, you know, 2 duos remaining or something like that. But it is going to be a case of them holding their nerve. All of these teams should be pretty aware of each other, so that kill feed awareness will come into effect, even though we are on live servers. Jakey, sneaking his way up, knows that players from Bizarre are over here. Czar set up to potentially hold him out. Cherry, I'm not sure whether he gave away his position there, but is going to be looking to pick up a couple kills onto this as Cherry just playing the backside, knows there could be a rat around here somewhere. Jakey goes down. Now it's Cherry versus Bazaar. They're both inside circle, but still one more phase to come out here. If this shifts down towards Cherry, it could end up being big because Cherry has himself a ridge to be able to play. The same cannot be said for Bazaar, is it will pull down towards him. Cherry can stick this ridge for the time being. The real question is going to be how much utility to Bazaar have left in terms of smoke, in terms of frags. If they have the smokes, they can run the gauntlet down the hill. If they have the frags, they can absolutely pin down Cherry as he's at the bottom of a ridge here, which means those frags just roll down on towards him. I think Cherry right now, he's trying to take 1v1 aim battles right here. Will open up on towards Speedy. One more bullet would be able to finish the job, but it's not quite going to work out. Looking out, spots out Scruiser and Mirage as well. The headshot does land, though. So this is a bit risky here as Mirage Flare going to be moving down more and more. Big barrel spray coming out as Cherry decides to go and pop the heal. Mirage getting ready to move over the top. Cherry should be relatively aware of it. He preps some form of utility. It's going to be a little bit far, though. Or is it? As Screws are getting tagged out low. More smokes coming in. Now the utility starting to come out here from Bazaar. The second smoke comes through. Cherry should have an idea. There is going to be a player over on this ridge somewhere. But Bazaar, it's just a case of them sweeping their way through this and trying to take the fights one by one. He doesn't spot Mirage. Is Mirage going to be able to clean it up? Bazaar gaming with a 15-kill chicken dinner for our final Miramar game of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a couple moments with game number 4 as we switch over to Erangel. Well, that is the halfway point for the evening as Bazaar pick up our third chicken dinner of OCE PUBG Series 5 as our final Miramar game for the evening has concluded. We're going to head over to Erangel for 3 more matches. That's right, 6 matches today. I know a lot of you OCE guys aren't used to it, so I think we're going to see how these players are able to adapt. You know, typically we see a lot of OCE tourneys only doing a 5-match format, so being having to play that extra match. Let's see how the stamina ends up unfolding. I think that more experienced teams that are used to playing in 6 games formats are definitely going to start thriving. Let's take a look over at the leaderboard though and see how things are looking. Fury out in first overall, 46 total points. TNG, however, close behind with 34, looking to try and close that gap this game ideally for them. Bazaar Gaming with 31, Team Process with 21, so definitely seeing how the placement points are coming in big right now. Pretty much, I think every team in the top 3 has themselves a win. Yeah, the top 3 teams all have a win, so it shows how the placement points can be big. We'll see how that ends up switching up going into our later games. But it's the halfway point for the evening. Never fear, though, because we still have plenty of games tomorrow that are going to be taking place. And here it is, Game 4. We are here on Erangel, and I know a lot of teams are going to be complaining about this circle right now. It is very, very southern. I mean, it's 50-50 whether we get a melee plane, but a melee base I should say, but I mean, there's the possibility. There's also the chance of one of those really horrible circles where they end up splitting somewhere between, like, Primorsk and Military Base, or even Milta and Novo. There's the possibility there. Never count it out, you know, especially in the current PUBG circle settings, as they have been very wacky the past patch, to say the least. Gat's going to be a little bit split from the rest of his squad over on the western side for VIPs. We'll just take a look over at how this first zone ends up popping just 30 seconds from now. But for the time being, no real hot drops coming out. We could see a couple challenges here over towards Gatka, however, as looks like these teams are going to be challenging for chopsticks, surprisingly. Never mind. Actually, Youngbloods, oh no. That's unfortunate. They challenged for the vehicle. Youngbloods only got themselves a buggy, which means that TNG were able to pretty easily get the roadkill there. They're going to be looking for the flush as well. Champs, he's a little bit far away. He's got no vehicles and no weapons. He needs to just hope right now that Maka isn't going to spot anything out, so he's just playing stealthy. He is chilling inside of the shack for the time being. So, well played here for Youngbloods, as unfortunately they will be losing 1, but at least, you know, they saved 3, which is the best you can hope for. And you know what? It isn't one of those super horrible circles, but it's pretty hard over to the east. There is the possibility of one of those hard shifts down to the south where we end up seeing a Novo-Milta kind of split, but there is a huge chunk of water out inside this circle already. Is going to make things very, very rough in the early game, as TNG are going to continue to try and loot up. Currently our 2nd place team overall. Definitely a strong one to watch. They're going to be hopping into the UAs and getting ready to rotate through to grab themselves something, but the seat swap Tommy gun attempt coming out here. The clown car of doom coming out. Big shots landing, but not enough to really finish the job. And I mean, yeah, Cherry just kind of spamming out some shotgun shots here, as you do, you know. You never know. Shotguns in this meta, he might hit like a 600-meter shot. You never know. The drop-off on those things is kind of insane right now, but looking over at the circle, I gotta say, Spectral, they're looking strong, same as Thrust, same as Bazaar, as these teams are all gonna have priority into this. There is the potential the circle could pull down to the south here, and we could see teams like Auxiliary and potentially Fury getting the zone down on towards that Millie Island, but I gotta say it isn't great for them right now. They still have to cross the bridge, and a lot of teams are likely going to be posted up over at this gas station kind of area. As I mean, looking overall at the map, I don't think we have to worry too much right here. Youngbloods will be looting up very close to TNG, as I'm not sure whether this is the play for them, honestly. We saw TNG, they already got the roadkill on towards Youngbloods. This might just be Youngbloods now kind of chasing down, going for kills, but as they will spot out the UAS over on their west, they're going to realize that Watertown is now no longer really playable. Unique is going to be looting up towards Roz already, so Youngbloods, they're finally getting to a position where they can get themselves some weapons for the first time, but unfortunately, I mean, it's going to mean that they're late into the zone, realistically. They're only just getting a chance to rotate now. Gats over on the south, we saw him, you know, take a bit of a spicy drop up against Trident right here, with Jamguchi now sneaking his way in on towards this position, just playing ever so carefully not to give anything away. As Gats just looting up, not a care in the world. Garfield going to be moving down this hill as well now. Trying to find something. So Gats just healing up. Sorry, just looting up, I should say. Maybe not aware what exactly awaits him in the form of Jamguchi just playing slowly on the outside here. Garfield going to be moving in. So Snow as well. So it looks like Trident, they just want to absolutely lay down a siege on towards this compound. Gats just making so much noise. I don't think he realizes how much he's really giving away. He does hear the vehicle pull up, though, from Snow right here. So this could end up being big for Gats, being his saving grace, as now he is just going to decide to lay down prone. Just hope that he doesn't die here, because he is in just such a rough position. Another savior is nowhere to be found in terms of helping. So now it's a case of Trident. They have to make a push through together to do some big damage, but Gats is just going to be chilling, laying prone for the time being. Keeping an eye out, knowing that Trident are likely going to be making a push. He has the info on towards this now. Snow playing the ground floor, maybe thinking this player could be in the flat top, but now realizing as Gats going to be able to land a nasty little angle with the barrel. Does some damage onto Snow, not really going to be enough to get the kill for the time being, however. So the Molotov will come through, doesn't quite catch Snow, maybe a second one will do the job. This is going to be a frag this time, he cooks it well. Goes in, it's inside. Snow gets tagged up, he's not down just yet. The second one maybe going to do the job. It's certainly looking like it. Snow is going to go down to the Molotov here. Gats now with the spray, lands the headshot on towards Garfield. This could be huge. Gats doing everything he can to try and make a final stand, as Jamguchi going to be moving round. Also tries to throw a couple frags in to catch him from an angle. But if there's a player that's able to clutch up in these situations, it's going to be Gats. Especially now that the rest of VIP are coming in to provide some support on towards this. Gats with the barrel spray, lands the headshot on towards Garfield. There's two remaining players. It's going to be Jamguchi and who is it? Another savior, my mistake there. Jamguchi goes for the pre-fire on towards the angle, but the rest of VIP have been able to make their way in. Gats, yet again, picking up another one. There's one player left. It's Jamguchi. Sorry, it's going to be another savior, I should say. As Jamguchi goes down. This is not looking great right here. Down they go. Gats does get knocked, but a 3K coming out from him. That is just absolutely huge there. Gats showing why he is kind of the prodigy that so many people are keeping an eye on right now. Such a strong player, and demonstrating exactly why. I believe he's a U18, but I'm telling you, as soon as that man turns 18, he's going to be snapped up by so many squads to play at the absolute top level of PUBG. He is absolutely insane right now, as the circlet has popped. It will force teams to finally start rotating in. As VIP, they're going to be pretty happy with this. They only got Gats knocked. They're going to be able to get themselves some decent loot. Sure, they might need to find some new vests to deal with, but you know, losing Tazzy is not ideal, but at the end of the day, when you're able to pick up 4 kill points earlier, it's going to be a very, very strong start to the game for you. Over in the zone, however, Fury, they are starting their rotate in towards this position. Auxiliary are going to be set up as well, as Insight deciding maybe he wants to go for this wizard tower by the looks of things. Where is he? I'm intrigued now. We're following Insight. We're going to find out where exactly he ends up going, because this is an interesting rotation, to say the least. Looks like he will just be pulling up over on the cliff. Wait, do Fury... I think Fury realized there are players posted up here as Auxiliary. They're going to be getting spotted out. Insight going to be rolling in towards them now. This could be absolutely huge. 7922 goes to the spray on towards him, but Insight going to be able to do some big damage in return. He's down to 1 HP. Fury now, they have to do some big damage. Waikiki Mukau takes down Invis, as Flood going to be rotating in as well now. Invis going to be getting flushed out by Waikiki Mukau. Flood doing some big damage with the SLR over on towards 1. Not going to be able to finish the job. Paradox going to be losing Killaroo as they accidentally run over their teammate. Voxic going to to be looking to potentially try and punish on towards this. Can't quite find the line of sight, though, so they are going to be safe from 300 for the time being. Over on the eastern side, however, Ronan and Flood starting to get super aggressive on towards this Insight is going to be knocked, most likely going to be flushable sooner or later now. Waikikamuka coming in to provide some support, but the question is it going to be too little too late here as he tries to move his way round? Flood watching out with the SLR, does prep another smoke to try and save his teammate, as it looks like he wants to try and go for it, but the further Insight moves away from this team, the higher risk it becomes, because it means that the angles are just so much easier to find on towards him. The bolt actually going to be coming out here from Shoehorse Moo. Gotta say, loving some of these names tonight. This is why I love casting on live server. Shoehorse Moo with the bolt shots. Going to try and land something as the nade will land down on towards him in return. Flashbangs popping up. Ronan going to start getting aggressive. Ace gun going to be taken out as Ronan takes down a second as well. Beautiful headshot. 7922 going to pop up for the trade. Will be able to get it. Goes for the insta-stick on the res. It's now Waikikamuka has been able to get the res on towards Insight. One big nade coming out from Cow here. Could be the end of it as 7922 takes down Insight as well. Waikikamuka and Flood, the two remaining players. Cow's going to move up over the top. Is it going to be enough? As now 7922, he's got the barrel. There it is. The AK hollow. It's no match as he cleans up. Waikikamuka finishes off Team Auxiliary now. 4 kills for them as they go and pop the heals, but the circle has popped and teams are going to be looking to try and take this position right now. Up on the northern side, Youngblood's rotating in. They're not going to be too concerned, but Thrust, they heard these shots. They're looking for the third party now. They want to do some big damage on towards this as Sigs also going to be moving in towards this position, keeping an eye out for Fury as best as possible. Sigs just watching out, but can't quite connect with anything just yet. The tree's going to be providing just enough cover here. Maybe Frozen Sniper can spot something, but it looks like both players only really rocking 2Xs for their long-range weapons as Neferhor takes some shots over towards Furzy as Furzy gets the knock on towards head kick right now. He does have to be careful as he is going to be trying to disengage, but Jinx from the side angle could do a lot of damage here. Headshot lands on towards Tiger Foam as Furzy going to be moving up for support. Jinx looking round to try and find the side angle. Convia provides some long-range support, not looking like it as Nefer goes down. He's inside a vehicle. That's unfortunate right there. Voxic actually opting to hop out here, wants to take the fight, takes Jinx down, but unfortunately going to get traded out by Furzy. Viha, the final player left up here for 300. 0 kills so far. Let's see if he can make a change to it. Furzy going to be going for the spray on towards it. Viha going for the seat swap, but the tree does provide some cover on towards this position. It's pretty much down to a 1v1 at the moment. Furzy will get tagged up big time, but no kill coming out yet. Viha goes for the peek. And there it is. Down goes 67 and 300. Picking up 3 kills out of it. Very impressive indeed right there. Even though they did lose 3 players. Now they should be able to get the reses off. No real teams that could threaten them from the western side. Unless VIP decide to bank this rotate down to the south now. Textile takes down Deja Vu here for Big J. So Bliss going to be able to pick up 1, make it a second as he takes down Jasper as well. Basic goes for the seat swap. It does work out. The headshot lands. Basic decided to pull up over at the shack, wants to try and confirm the kill point as Rain down to the south, trying to land something on towards Jonas, but not really there just yet. Rain also getting hit from long range as Bazaar going to be opening up here. Speedy doing some damage. He's looking out on towards Jonas. Maybe with the mini, but just not looking too lightly at the moment. Flood going to be able to take down Sands as Basic. Also going to be getting eliminated here, leaving Jonas as the final player. He is just out of here. He does not want to take any more fire, but with a team like Spectral right next to you, you can be almost certain that they're going to be opening up some shots here as we do see Heikeman with the SLR trying to land something onto Jonas. Not really working out. So the circle is going to close. We'll see how it ends up shifting next. As, you know, I was hoping it would shift hard to the south the first time. Maybe we can see that fix itself this time in phase number 3. It's Heikeman here playing the high ground, looking out from Mini Mill to power, doing what he can to try and get some sights. Only 24 damage done, and you know, with a player like Heikeman, he is looking to do a lot more than that. As I mean, we'll see how it ends up popping in just a couple seconds. Fury has gone down to Voxic. And there it is. It centers up over on Spectral and Thrust. Spectral with an aggressive split. Now they have to kind of make the bank. Do they want to continue playing this position? So they want to group up a little bit and prevent any crashes, because rest assured there's going to be crashes coming out soon onto at least one of these positions. Haim Korea, he is going to be playing behind the rock. Spots out Unique here from Youngbloods, looking to try and get the knock, as one more bullet would have done the job. Champ's going to be able to return the fire. Neferher going down here to VIP over on the western side, as 300 looking like they want to start making a push in here. Aim still keeping an eye out, as Youngbloods are a little pinned inside this position. Jakey and Rookie holding the side angles, trying to connect with something, but the Wizard Tower, it just doesn't have the best sight lines in reality for the time being. Still that fight kicking off over on the west. Nothing too much to worry about for the time being. Bliss going to start there, rotate through. Is Headkick actually going to be able to get the knock on towards VIP now? I want to hop on board with 300, because if there's anything I know about 300, it's that they're an aggressive team, and it wouldn't surprise me if they crash onto this. However, they are instead going to go a bit further up to the north and rotate in from the northern side. Now the crashes will be coming out, so Spectral making the right decision to actually back off of this and group as a team, as 36 Cartel are going to be grabbing over towards these compounds now. Spectral have been able to rock a 2-2 split, keeping players over in Mini Mill to power, but Heikeman getting caught with a big headshot will be forced off of this for the time being. Taking a look at just how clustered these squads are, though, this is not going to be good for a lot of these teams, as Mirage Flare doing a lot of damage. Bazaar, they are anchoring. They do have Scruiser up on the northern side for the event of a northeastern shift here, so that'll be working out well for them. But 300, look at this. They got the knock on towards VIP. They rotated around. They got the reposition. Now they're trying to hold out VIP here. This is a really big play, and now Headkick, he has been able to spot out the vehicles. VIP going to get caught out by that fence. It's pretty unfortunate, as they will take a lot of damage, but they are still alive, and I believe they still have a vehicle. Never mind, they do not. That is unfortunate for them right here. So it is going to be a case of VIP. They're going to have to do some big damage over on towards 300 to try and hold them out, as the smoke's going to be the only real form of cover that VIP have once they get out of this compound. Gats all the way down to the south is going to be looking up, but honestly, the line of sights with those trees and the buildings in the way is not ideal here. Still going to be taking some shots, though, over towards Viha. There's Viha getting spotted. The Ridge still providing cover for them. One headshot could do big damage now, as Headkick will get caught with it. Can he follow it with a second? Not looking like it. Gats, 3 kills so far, 576 damage. Absolutely huge so far for them. The circle, it's going to get ready to pop. We'll see how it ends up going. I wouldn't be surprised to see it center up over at Spectral. And there it is. It will pull down to the south. So Bazaar going to be trying to grab control of the eastern side, most likely. Now, potentially try and rotate in over towards one of these side positions, as Gat's going to be able to find the headshot on towards Headkick here through the window. Very impressive indeed. Neferher throws down the smoke to try and get the res, as Gat's going to continue opening shots up on towards him, but can't quite finish it. The Ridge just about providing enough cover here. So now it's a case of VIP. They need to try and get into zone, but with Paradox making a rotate through, they are going to be aware there's players over to the east. They do instead decide to head a bit further over to the east. Jing going to be able to take down Frozen Snipers. Fury Oz going to be going down to the play zone. VIP going to be losing him, as only 2 players left up. They have a bit of a way to go right now. Paradox deciding to send it in. Want to go for one of these dips over in the center here. Shakovsky, he gets taken down extremely low here by Insight. Paradox going to be looking to try and grab this dip, and I mean, it's strong in the late game, but when Fury have a split like this, you're just going to get punished for it. There it is. Insight able to get the opening knock. Ronin gets the second. Paradox Esports going down in 13th position now. 300 over on the west, also going to be making their rotate throughs up on the northern side. Youngbloods, those 2 remaining players, still trying to take this fight up against Bazaar. Unique and Champs both up here ever so carefully right now, not wanting to give anything away. Scruiser sent it in towards Mill to power, so not going to be looking over in this direction anytime soon. Bliss going to be grouping up over on the western side, and it looks like Team Process now also going to be looking to send it into something. Team 300 are posted up, but Headkick, the only one really inside this compound right now. Voxic doing what he can to provide some shots with the SLRs. The smokes will be coming down. The frag is what's really going to change things here for them. As the smokes are up, Rookie going to be taking shots over on towards Voxic, catches him out in the open here. The SLR going to be Fury coming out, trying to return the fire. Nothing quite connected. Let's see if maybe, you know, something big could come out. It's going to be Waikik and Mukau with the third party over on towards Neferher now. Takes him out. There's going to be one more player down for 300, as they are just in a really horrible position right now. Headkick and Voxic, the two remaining players. Can Headkick maybe land a nade through in towards the 3-story? Yes, he can, but it's not going to connect on towards anyone, as now Endgame opens up, takes down Rain. Monty and Bryn still laying back a little. Headkick actually landing the SKS shot on towards Gats for VIP, but that's just not the fight they need to be focusing on right now. I'm sure that 300, they're an aggressive team. They like taking these fights, but I'm not sure whether this is the fight that they should be worried about. They have to clear out this compound first. Monty going to be able to land a huge nade over on towards VIP. They're taking down Endgame and Gats. There's Voxic. He's just chilling inside the bathroom here. Jonas does go down. Voxic not wanting to give anything away just yet. Head kick opens up, maybe intentionally causing a bit of a distraction. As now Voxic opens up, does get the knock on towards Jakey, flushes out Rookie as well. Team Process, they want to commit onto this fight, but Vox is just so low in this position. Even if he picks up the kill, which he does, how much longer do they really survive? Process, they go down in 10th. As Bliss are aware of this, they're going to be looking for the third party. Voxic goes down to the blue. Will be bleeding out as well. Head kick, the final remaining player left from 300. Just bandaging in the smoke. He's got a bit of a way to go with Thrust over on the east. Bliss up to the north. It's going to make things rough here. TNG, 2 players remaining over on the eastern side. It looks like Insight potentially getting ready to make a crash over on towards this here. Husey goes down. He's flushed out by Ginto, as now the final player left up. It's going to be Cherry. Down goes Head Kick as well. 300 going to be getting eliminated. Can he make something happen here on towards Fury? Not looking like it, as Cherry goes down. Beautiful seat swap coming out here from Fury. Flood picking up the kill for them there, as they do grab the southeastern side. Now, however, Bazaar could do some big damage out of this. We saw Elarux going to be able to get the knock on towards Frozen Sniper. Trying to find a couple more here for Spectral. They've only picked up 2 kills this game. They know that 67 are going to be making a rotate up to the north. Sorry, did I say 67? I meant to say 36 Cartel are going to be making a rotate up to the north here. It's going to make things rough for them. Player 4 also going to be going for the crosshair, as Aspa opening up some big shots. He will be able to take down Bryn from Team Bliss, so that's going to prevent Bliss really pushing in too much here. They have themselves a bit of a dip to work with, but only relying on smokes is not ideal in a position like this. Looking over at the circle, it is going to start closing soon. Bliss have to make the push. Heikeman gets the knock on towards Susamas. Now 2 players both going to be low from 36 Cartel. Suspect going for the insta-res. Spectral, they have moved out of this flat top now, deciding to send it over on towards Mini Mill to Power as a 4-man, getting together as a team, knowing that Thrust are down to the south, and if they're not careful, they could potentially make a bit of a push on towards this. Monty going to be able to land the re-knock on towards Suspect now, so it's going to be Bliss as a 3-man, trying to take the fight over on towards 36 Cartel. Bryn and Rain trying to group up here, as Rain with the SLR. Big knock over on towards Asper now. Wants to do some big damages. The nade will land in. It's not really going to be too much in terms of actually getting frags here, but it will do a lot of damage. It actually catches them through the window there, doing huge damage on towards it. The vehicles are going to be denied. Bryn taken out as he tries to cross the street. Rain trying to return via Heikeman, however, from Mini Mill to Power, will be able to land some big shots. Takes down Rain. Bliss now. Monty's the final player left up. He's going for the heal. It's not looking ideal. Heikeman up on the high ground. Can he maybe land something here? Monty, he's on his way out, but he gets the kill on towards Suspect, picking up an extra kill point here. But there it is. He goes down to the blue team. Bliss with 7th place overall, but a decent amount of kills. Now, Heikeman throwing down some smokes to support his teammate, as we do see Spectral Gaming here getting pushed a little bit by the Rust. They're kind of hoping for a bit of support from Fury here, as they're going to be looking to try and crest over this and do some damage over on towards them. The circle is going to center up pretty much on this road right here. This is a horrible circle for a lot of these teams, but not if you are Spectral right here, because you have the high ground, you have the hard cover. The real question is, do they have enough to be able to really defend it? Because Mini Mill to Power is just one of those positions that is so rough to hold. As a 4-man even, is going to allow teams the opportunity to potentially sneak up on you. But honestly, with a player like Heikeman up at the top, he could end up doing big damage here. There it is. Insight going for the mini shots over on towards Speedy. Maybe expecting him to go over towards the drop, but he doesn't. Heikeman up top with the SLR doing even more damage. Asba and Susama both moving in towards this now. Going to be grabbing the wall. They should be relatively safe unless Spectral can land an absolutely insane nade on towards them. Mr. Clay, however, he's going to be playing the side here for Spectral Gaming. Knows that he heard Youngbloods making a push, so they will be nading through. And this could be an absolutely huge position right here for Mr. Clay. It's a position I can't say I've ever seen played before, but it could end up being pretty big. Insight will be getting knocked here by McZoris as Heikeman going to try opening up on towards Thrust. 1 or 2 more shots would have done the job, but not quite going to be enough right now. Mr. Clay playing slow. 36 Cartel do start to open up over on towards Youngbloods. Champs and Unique just using this vehicle for covers. Asper doing some big damage with the M4, but not on towards the players. Right now, that vehicle is just taking all that damage in. 36 Cartel still have a bit of a way to go right here. Champs tries to return the fire as Mr. Clay. He could prep a pretty big nade here if it works out the way he hopes. Throws it over the top, but it blows up just a little bit early here. Champs is going to start getting aggressive. So Mr. Clay maybe not expecting a player to be here. He spots him as he hops over the other side. So Spectral are going to be aware of this. They're going for a bit of a reposition here. The DP actually coming out here from Xing Xing on towards the vehicle. This is big brain right here. The LMGs do that much more vehicle damage that they decide to pick up an LMG just to try and take down the vehicle right here. Sasama going to be going down as now Asper, the final player left up for 36 Cartel. The nade comes through for the flush. Does a little bit of damage on towards him as Youngbloods not going to be able to capitalize on this just yet. The circle does pull down to the south, so Fury looking strong for the time being. Asper gets the knock on towards Heikeman, looking to try and get the flush as he has given away his position. Now Spectral going to be looking to try and close up over on towards this. Asper, he's only got a couple bullets left. He's throwing the flashbangs. This is his last resort, but there it is. It's going to be Spectral that make the push on towards him. Down he goes. 36 Cartel down in 6th. But now, Youngbloods, their position has been given away. Mr. Clay was aware of where these players are. Heikeman getting rezzed, and now is the opportunity for Spectral to focus their attention over on towards these 2 players from Youngbloods. I don't think that Spectral have any real big info on exactly how many players there are in this position, but they should know roughly where they're going to be. Ronan looking out now, looking out for Bazaar. He knows there's going to be players up here somewhere with the SLR. He's trying to do something as Mr. Clay will open up now. The Heikeman actually going to be getting traded out as Mr. Clay does throw down that door for cover, but it's going to be a case of Thrush just providing so much firepower now. They're going to be shooting that door in no time. Unique opens up, catches Ginto out as he tries to make the cross over the street now. It's the rest of Bazaar in a pretty rough position. They're tanking a lot of blue damage. The vehicle rotate going to be the strat to come out from them. It's always an interesting one to see, as they're just going to be heading straight in towards this position where Unique just managed to kill one of their teammates. And what about that? The 3K coming out from Unique, cleaning up Bazaar on the rotate. A big miscalculation coming out from them as now Spectral Gaming, they have the strongest position, arguably. But as the zone shifts away, it's going to make things a little bit rough right here. They are going to be on the edge. Thrust focusing over towards them with the DMRs. Sigs with nice shots on towards Mr. Clay. The zone going to be moving in. He's limited on terms of what he can do right now. Xing Xing opens up as well. Maybe Eliorus pop up on this. The SK. Doesn't quite land. The Molotov attempt coming out. Pretty short though. So Sigs is going to be pinned down inside this vehicle, inside this building for the time being. I'm not sure whether it's going to be enough to really, you know, get the kill on him, do any damage. Spectral should be able to pick something up off of this. But now, they do have themselves a vehicle. The zone's going to start moving in a minute. Unique also has to start making a move into circle. He's got himself a UAZ, but now with Fury moving in from behind, it's going to make things rough here. Fury, they've realized that this fight was going on. They realized it was a stalemate, that both these teams were distracted. They've used it as an opportunity to make a push in. Ronan gonna get taken a little low, but he tags McZoris in return right here. Mr. Clay opening up as Beef gonna be moving around to the side, prepping in case of this push coming out from Spectral, which they will start to make. Beef tries to go for the 3x spray. It isn't gonna work out as he is focused on towards Xing Xing, but actually it's gonna be the roadkill that comes out over on towards 6 now. Fury in a position where if they just throw a Molotov over this wall, I hate to say it, but Spectral are just going to be over with, but they throw the Molotov into the wrong position, unfortunately. If only they realized they were on the backside of the shack instead. Thrust now playing the pipes as best as possible. Xing still on the northern side, looking out. Flood and Insight anchoring on the other side of the road here for Fury. It's Unique going to get ready to make his cross in. Still not inside circle. And it looks like Insight may be aware there could be a player over here, but he does need to be cautious, knowing that there are still Spectral. There is still Thrust that could cause some big issues in this position. As right now, it's just going to be a case of Xing Xing getting spotted out by Unique here. He will be able to get the opening knock, but now Insight providing a lot of pressure on towards this here. Now, Mr. Clay, the final player left up here for Spectral, going to be playing it very passively, not wanting to give too much away. Ronan gets the knock on towards McZoris, leaving one player left up from Thrust. It's going to be Beef as he throws the nade over. It's actually going to be a flashbang that lands on towards Ronan. YK Kamukau moving around the side, jumps up top. The spray comes out. He does some big damage on towards Beef, but it's not going to be enough to finish the job right yet. Mr. Clay, Beef, and Unique all still standing here as solos, so it is just going to become a bit of a solo battle as Mr. Clay, he lands the drop shot. It works out perfectly, tries to do some damage on towards Ronan, almost catches out YK Kamukau on the jump. But let's be honest here, the zone's going to start moving in a couple seconds. Mr. Clay has to make it into circle somehow. YK Kamukau going to be able to land the side angle. Unique also watching out on towards this now, but not opening up just yet. Unique tanking a lot of blue damage. 4 HP left. It's pretty much over for Unique here as he's pinned down. Mr. Clay, can he make a final stand? No, he can't as the Molotov lands. Fury with their second chicken dinner, 12 kills, very, very impressive indeed. And I kind of want to know who was actually the second place team right there. We'll have to check. Yeah, it was actually Youngbloods managed to make it in. So the Molly takes down Mr. Clay just before Unique goes down to zone. So that'll actually bump Youngbloods up 1 placement point right there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very short break, but we're back in just a couple minutes with game number 5 of the evening. So there it is, Fury with their second win of the evening. Let's see if maybe TNG and Bazaar can repeat the pattern and make it their second as well. My name is Chunks. I am going to be your caster for this evening as we have 2 games remaining. We're about to hop into game number 5, but let's take a quick look over at the leaderboards and see how everything is looking right now. And after a second chicken dinner, Fury are just absolutely tearing away with the lead right now. This is absolutely huge for them. Let's see if Bazaar or TNG are going to be able to close that gap. But I also have to say, Team Bliss out in 4. This feels almost like what we saw in LPL, where, you know, they are fragging out. They're getting themselves a couple good placement points, but they're not able to secure a win. Let's see if maybe that's going to switch up this game as we hop into game number 5 of the evening. The playing path is going to be pretty well balanced. Everyone should be able to get where they need to go. No more of those southern plains. And honestly, in a playing path like this, the chance of getting one of those really spicy troll circles, they're not too high. But you know what? Fingers crossed anyway. I'd love to see it. There is the potential of that Primorsk circle, or maybe even a hard northern circle. But honestly, like, I think they should be relatively good right now in terms of, you know, not getting any horrible zones. The chance of it really happening are kind of slim. Getting something like on those hard milli zones, anything like that, they're not looking too likely right now. As I mean, most teams do appear to be all right, but 2 teams that may have themselves some issues here are going to be VIP and Auxiliary here. Let me just, I may need to tab out after this, as I've noticed the delay is picking back up. I will have to restart my NDI source in a second. But here it is. Ace Gun is going to be inside this compound here for Auxiliaries with the VSS. Looking out to try and find Tazzy potentially right now, as Tazzy and Fury going to be working together as unit right now to try and sweep through the AK and the VSS. A decent combo, but no helmet is going to make things rough. And there is our roadkill of the game. Xor is going to be able to take down Akita from Team Process. Shaky trying his best to return fire. Nothing quite coming out of it, though. So we hop back over on towards Ace right now. He will be keeping an eye out, looking out as best as possible. Just playing ever so carefully right here. Doesn't want to give anything away here to Team VIP. But at the same time, that is also allowing VIP to get themselves some better and better loot, as actually Invis going to be going down as well. Gat's picking one up with the Tommy gun down on that southwestern side. The circle has popped. It's going to be relatively central. We saw a lot of these yesterday in Spark, so a couple of these players should be relatively strong in terms of how they're going to fight them right here, as Ace is just going to be clearing through. Tazzy and Fury both working as a squad here. Tazzy opens up a couple shots, maybe just pre-firing. Tazzy is going to move around to the side. Ace goes for the peek, but oh no, that is unfortunate. Like right there, getting taken down to 8 HP. The solo player from Auxiliary, he is going to be getting flushed out. Tazzy getting the shotgun flush. There it is. Can Auxiliary maybe make something happen here? 7922 is going to be moving up. Shoehorse Moo doing the same. 6x Scar. Is that really what we're resorting to right here, guys? Not getting any loot out of Gatka. So now, out they come. They're going to be rotating through here, keeping an eye out. They know roughly where VIP are. They don't know specifics, though. Maybe expecting them to be over in that compound, over in that building, I should say, realizing that it probably isn't going to be looted. But Tazzy, he's going to pop up. Will be able to spot out 7922. And, of course, the shotgun cleans it up. That is absolutely huge right there for VIP as they take down Auxiliaries early. 4 kills in the early game. Wow, what a way to start right there for Auxiliaries. Really not ideal. Just give me a moment, guys. I'm just going to restart my OBS real quick over on the game PC, just because I've noticed a really bad delay between what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing. So please just bear with me a moment. Obviously right now, you know, My capture card isn't working. We're having some technical difficulties, so we're working on it, all right? We're working on it. Hopefully, the capture card will be fixed by tomorrow, so we're not going to have these problems anymore. There we go. Delay is now fixed. So we can hop back on board with this game, and what the hell is Light by Design doing? Where are the rest of TNG? The rest of TNG are over at Ruins. So I'm not sure whether Light by Design may be disconnected or something. I'm trying to remember what the plane path was. Like, I don't think that would be like a disconnection plane path where, like, you get in late. Surely, if anything, he'd be all the way down to the south. That's interesting right there, as Light by Design is going to be able to rotate in a little. VIP should hear the vehicle coming through, but I don't think Light by Design has to worry too much. I think his focus is just going to be on grouping up with the rest of his squad. As VIP, they're going to be taking some shots, kind of as a warning sign to keep Light by Design away, so they shouldn't have to worry too much, but having two players over at Gatka in this circle could be very big in terms of the rotations that they need to make later. I have to say right now, though, Paradox, who have control of Pachinki, are going to be looking really strong right now. They can grab this church area, they can get some eyes down, they can split players around, and they're right in the center. So in terms of rotations, things could be big here, but you know what? 300. Not like this, guys. We've seen these guys pull out a lot of bridge camps over in NA. Some of them work, some of them not so much, is the polite way to put it. And now 300 setting up a bridge camp with Fury over on Millie. This is risky. This might be 300 painting a big target on their back that they might not want to have, because I mean, 300 is just absolutely posted up it here. Look at this. Neferho with the M249. He is ready to just absolutely farm damage on towards some vehicles for Fury, as they will start to rotate through sooner or later. It's still a little bit of a way to go, but yeah, 300. You know, I can understand pulling it out in the late game, but in a situation like this where it's just not necessarily, where, you know, it's game 5 of day 1, there's still plenty of games ahead, that doesn't feel like a smart play from 300. But here we go. Jamguchi playing sneaky over on towards Jinx. Will be able to get the knock over on towards him. Tries to hit the second on towards Furzy, so the rest of Trident now going to be moving in to provide some support. The nade, though, it's looking big. Just a little bit too far, as the first aid popping off in time. Maybe the second one will do the job. He's taken down to 15 HP. A third one not going to connect. However, Subject Nest from range. Sorry, I'm not sure. That isn't Subject Nest, is it? That's Tiger Throne from range. Doing some big damage right there. Furzy still making a final stand, as more and more utility landing through from Trident. Oh, no. He runs backward in towards the Molotov. That's an unfortunate way to go now. The frag going to be able to clean that one off, but Tiger Foam is not giving up just yet. Him and Subject Nest are ready for this. They're ready to take the fight. I just want to keep an eye out for this bridge camp, because we know it's going to happen. I don't want to miss this. 67, they will be backing off out of this. Trident still trying to pick up a couple points, but not really working out. They managed to get 2. They should be pretty happy, but here it is. 300 with the bridge camp. Fury are posted up on the other side. I mean, if they've been doing VOD review of 300, they know that, look, they've done this before. Be prepared for it to happen again. Head kick and Neferhor, each with M249s, I should point out right now. This is, wow, this is 300, guys. So Fury, they're hopping in the vehicles, they're going to make the push, but now this is... I don't really know what to say. As much as I'd like to say Fury should be able to just hit the drive-bys here, I don't know, because 300, like, they have the LMGs and everything. They have a lot of utility to work with. If they can pick up, you know, 4 kills off the early game now, this is huge, because Fury are likely just going to cross this bridge as a squad. They're not just going to go one by one. They won't be expecting a scout here in this position, but at the end of the day, there's still 6 games tomorrow that teams have to worry about, and if 300 are taking an engagement here on towards Fury and setting up a bridge camp, things could end up a little bit rough for them here. As, I mean, just look at this. This is, I feel like a lot of players are going to be upset at 300 for this. I feel like this is not a very gentlemanly play, as Voxic now will be prepping a couple pre-nades. Here it comes, guys. Viha takes down one. Never takes down the second as Viha goes down in the trade. The M249 coming out. Flood takes down two as now. There it is. Neferher with the M249 doing so much damage. 300. The bridge camp works out successfully, but at what cost? There's still one more game tonight. You're taking a fight against the top team right here. Fury are confident. They are not going to let this go without a fight. 300, they just pulled off a perfect bridge camp, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for them in the long run here, because Fury are now going to see red, and they are definitely going to take a lot of fights on towards this. As now the circle, it has pulled over to the east, so these teams that were taking Gatka, maybe hoping for a western rotate, are going to have a bit of a rough rotate in, as pretty much the entirety of Potato Hill here is going to be completely open, so Thrust should be able to grab hold of that relatively easily. And I definitely expect a lot of fights to pop off over on the western side here, over towards these Badlands areas, where teams are likely just going to try and get themselves some ridges, maybe a hill, because it'll give them good rotation into the next zone, even if maybe it's not the strongest position to hold into the late game. Sweet Soul here, going for a couple shots with the SLR. Can't quite connect. There's Tiger Foam going to be getting spotted out now. The headshot lands, but not quite enough to finish the job here. Speedy K opening up on towards Tazzy here with the SLR. As now Tiger Foam going to be going down on the rotate. 36 Cartel send it in. Paradox looking out over on towards this. But I mean, you know what? The good thing about this bridge camp potentially now is that it is going to open up that leaderboard for those teams in second, third, fourth place to start closing that gap between them and Fury, because Fury right now, they've just been absolutely dominant. So it has made it rough for those teams to really be able to show what they're made of. We always look at Fury as that first place team. It feels like it always happens, but there are some very, very underrated talents able to take second and third consistently that, you know, we can't forget about. Subject Nest here, the solo player from 67. It is not looking ideal if you are Subject Nest. Because, I mean, Trident up to your east, they know there's a player here. Bliss down to your west is going to make things rough. Is actually Monty going to decide to head in for Pachinki Church right now? An interesting play. And here it is, Spectral. They're going to be posted up. They're looking over on towards 300 right now, trying to land some SLR shots on towards Voxic or head kick. Not really going to connect, but you know what? You got to give Spectral the effort for trying here. 300 set up a bridge camp, so it's time for them to get camped out as well. VIP up on the northern side are also going to be keeping an eye out, knowing there are players down here somewhere. Got himself that Mini 14, but no real line of sight. The trees providing cover. He will be able to spot out the vehicle, as potentially he spotted out Xing Xing there. Not sure whether it's going to work out just yet. Bazaar taking a pretty long rotate up on the northern side to make it in. They're going to make the crossover past Rozok here. Team Process, however, they decide to take the apartments here over by school. Rookie looking out with that Mini 14, trying to land something on towards TNG, as they will be able to move in towards Potato Hill. A little bit more for the time being. No one really taking the top side of it yet. Everyone deciding to kind of bank for a bit of a shift off of this. It's Bizarre with a bit of a way to go up on that northern side, trying and just still taking shots over towards Subject Nest. Now, they are just not going to let him live at this point. They are just farming so much damage on towards those vehicles, just so as soon as he tries to hop in it, they can just do one or two more shots, the thing will blow up, and he's gone. Here it is, Snow now, with the SLR, also trying to connect. Subject Nest looking like he is going to hop in sooner or later, because it's 10 seconds until phase 2... Sorry, till phase 3 pops, I should say. Oh, this could be big here. Spectral. Spot out Neff. From 300, the SLR, it's there. Deciding to hold the trigger discipline, though, as he calls it out to Xing Xing. Spectral just setting up ever so carefully right now. 300 moving in more and more. Voxic out in the open as well, so that's it. All the positions are known. The headshots now are the only thing that needs to land. Down goes Viha as Neff hops out of the vehicle. He's been tagged up low. Leoris going to be moving in as well. Mr. Clay coming in from the north, getting ready to go for the seat swap. Xing Xing takes down 2. Head kick and Voxic out, and there it is, 300. They are getting absolutely punished for that bridge camp earlier. Down in 14th position. They got 4 points out of it, but yeah, that's really not ideal. The circle will center up, as now Big J and Trident both sharing this compound. I mean, this compound is a tough one. I gotta say, it feels like teams, they can hold it together if they want to, but question is, will they? As, you know, a team like Trident right here, they know that they're capable of really big performances. The real question is, do they take this fight, or do they just try and, you know, play it slow, knowing that, I mean, looking at the circle, it's unlikely it hard shifts over to them multiple times. They maybe move to the next one. As Jakey from Process will be taking shots over towards Jasper here, as Big J rocking an interesting split with Jasper and Deja Vu up to the north. Maybe Deja Vu might be able to spot something now as Trident start to make their rotate out of this compound. Deja Vu looking out, as so is Jasper. Vehicles will be spotted, but nothing really connecting. As Trident now, they actually decided to go for a rotate all the way around to the southern side now. So they've got Jonas and Basic a little bit pinned here in terms of this position. Jamguchi's still playing the northern side, just in case. Holding out, but he does need to be cautious. Deja Vu going to be moving around. Does he spot out Jamguchi? He should hear the vehicle now. He's looking over in this direction. He's got himself the SLR. The headshots would be big right here. He does land the body, but not enough to get the head, unfortunately. Goes for the spray on towards the vehicle. It takes a little bit of damage, but Trident should be able to group up relatively easy here. Looking over at the zone, I don't think anyone really has to worry too much. Spectral deciding to potentially send it over into the trenches here. Not a position we see played too often. It can be a rough one with the high ground coming in big, but they are going to be safe for the time being. Susama getting knocked. So does Asbers. Illyria's going to be popping up on towards that. 2 players still standing for 36 Cartel, but I mean, they've got the compounds. They shouldn't have to worry too much about getting flushed out here. Bizarre, however, over on the eastern side, do start to open up against TNG. Is Light by Design going to be able to take down Mirage Flare, Ginto, and Speedy, the 2 remaining players. The 3x spray comes out. It lands the headshot, but it's not quite going to be enough just yet. The nade will come out. Can it land over towards Light by Design? Is looking close. Cherry, he tries to get away, but he does get caught by it in the end. And there it is. Down go TNG. Husey, the final one left up, but just not quite for long enough, as now Bizarre. 5 kills, 5 points. It looks like Team Process potentially going to try and take a third party on towards this now. And Korea moving down, knows this player's over here somewhere. Gat's actually going to be getting knocked down on the southern side by Thrust. So McZoris will be able to spot out on towards VIP. He spots the gun sticking out from endgame, but it can't quite land. It's actually... Oh no, Paradox, they send it straight in towards Spectral right now. No scouting required, as Ilaria's going to be able to take down one. Heikeman takes down another. The third party going to be coming in now from 36 Cartel up on the north. Sand still standing as a solo. Killaroo holding Pachinki. Doesn't have to move just yet. That is a very unfortunate misplay coming out here from Team Paradox. Spectral looking out over towards this with the SLR. No Sands is inside here somewhere, just trying to destroy that vehicle, and there it is. VIP Beef, he cleans up with the grenade. Down they go. Thrust picking up another 3 kill points there. Mr. Clay, he is going to be going for this spam for the time being, trying to connect on towards Sands, but nothing really working out. As Deja Vu over on the eastern side going to be opening up. Speedy has gone down to blue. Ginto looking like he could follow suit, but it is going to be Rookie to at least pick up 1 point here for Team Process off of this. As now we look over on the northern side, we saw Jamguchi go down. That leaves Trident with only 2 players left up. Another Savior, aware that Jasper could be in this position somewhere, just doesn't know the specifics. Snow going to be keeping an eye out as well. As Trident, they have a bit of a way to go right here. Paradox will be able to take down Subject Nest as Killaroo picking up that one, but Jonas with a nice little angle on towards Snow right there. He will go down to the blue zone. Heifer going to be catching them from the side angle as Youngblood's also going to be opening up on towards this fight. Another Savior. Final remaining player here for Trident. Can he maybe make something work out right now as maybe expecting more players from Big J to still be surviving? He will try to get the flush. Doesn't quite work out, so Jasper will be going down to blue. Let's take a look over at this. Youngblood's moving in from the northern side as the circle will start to close in. Team Bliss posted up. Textile with some nice SLR shots on towards this. Can he knock one out of the vehicle? It's looking close, but it's going to be Bryn that gets the knock on towards Sweet Soul instead. Youngbloods on the northern side have a bit of a way to go. Another Savior still from Trident pulls up, trying to go for the heal, but he isn't able to hit it in time. He goes down to blue. We're into a top 7 already. It's only phase 5, 24 alive. It shows how rough some of these circles can be and how much open terrain there really is to work with here. Mr. Clay, he's looking out over towards Paradox, but nothing really working out now. Spectral, they are inside circle, but honestly, these trenches are just not an ideal position. They are very open from above. But at the end of the day, if you're inside circle, what more can you ask for right now? Monty going to be able to take down I Only Loot Bodies as the fire will be getting returned onto Textile. Unique doing some big damage, but it can't quite finish the job. Rookie from behind will be making a push with the rest of Team Process. Haim Korea takes down Rain right here. There's Jakey going for the return fire. Can the nade maybe do something as Textile has been taken low? Monty going to start getting more and more aggressive. That will get called out here. Textile caught with the nade by Jakey. Rain also now. So that leaves Bliss with only 2 players up. Monty as the final player standing in this fight as Bryn going to be focused on the heals for his teammate. Never mind as he cancels the res to take down Haim Korea. Jakey here. If he lands a big nade, this could be absolutely huge for them. Monty going to be going for the reposition as Unique goes down. Youngbloods trying to make their way in. 36 Cartel taking big shots over towards them. They should have this ridge to be able to play, but now Monty, he's working his way through up towards Team Process. Knowing that this player's up here. Haim Korea has gone knocked. Will also be looking like he's going to be getting flushed out soon. Textile goes down to the blue zone as Haim Korea bleeding. Now Team Bliss, I think they realized that this player's gone. They're going to start getting more and more aggressive. Moving down a little bit. Monty being ever so cautious, knowing that Jakey could be around. He's playing it careful. Jakey playing out in the blue. This could be huge here. He's got the barrel. He goes for the spray on towards Monty. Going to be able to take him down. The play zone not going to allow them to really get the res on towards it. Shaky will be getting caught with the headshot in the end. Bryn going to be able to finish that one off now. Heifer going to be going down as I Only Loot Bodies. The final player left up from Youngbloods in a bit of a rough position here with Thrust down to the south. Bryn up to the north. Just absolutely caught down in this position. And Loot Bodies trying to work through this as best as possible. Can Bryn maybe make something happen on towards Thrust here? Right now, it's just going to be a battle against the blue more than anything, as I Only Loot Bodies will be caught out. Beef gets the kill on towards that one. Down go Youngbloods in 6th. Bryn has been able to pop the heal, but that smoke is likely going to cause a lot of attention to shift over in his direction. And yeah, he's just tanking a lot of blue damage right now. Down goes Bliss to play zone. We're into the top 4, and it's only phase 6. It feels like this is going to be a pretty slow end game, honestly, now. With just the number of teams, the amount of open terrain, it is going to come down to one of those end games where it's heavily based around just taking aim battles for the time being. I mean, Thrust right now, they do have the high ground to work with. The nade does land in here on towards Sands and Killaroo, but unfortunately not going to quite do the damage that Spectral were hoping for. They are up as a 4-man inside of these trenches, but right now should be relatively safe. The only team that really have a rough time getting in here are going to be Paradox, potentially 36 Cartel, but at least they're able to play the high ground out of this. Asper going to be opening up with the SLR, trying to land some shots on towards Thrust, but unfortunately the shot's quite not landing yet as McZoris plays the backside of the tree. He is still going to be full HP, just ego peeking this to a certain extent, wrapping out wide to try and get a better angle to catch these players off guard. The smokes are up as the only real form of cover. Sig's doing what he can from the side, but realizes now that 36 Cartel, they're going to be wrapping round to the left. Sigs has himself the AWM, but it's not going to be too much help in this position here. Paradox, they do make a push out of the Wizard Tower. It's going to be Mystically that takes down one. Suspect stealing the kill on towards Killaroo. So now, 3 teams remaining. They're all going to be 4-mans. Now it comes down to how these team fights work, how much utility you really have left to use. As Asper going to be getting caught out from Shing over inside of the dip. Looking out as best as possible. Over on towards 36 Cartel. Frozen Sniper gets the flush on towards Asper. 3 players remaining now for 36 Cartel. Player 4 getting caught with the nade now. The circle will be closing in. Suspect getting ready to start making the cross. Sigs has the Orm. Can he make it connect here as he's going to be playing late for this 1 kill? He's supporting his team big time. Suspect returning the fire as Sir going to be caught out behind the vehicle. The headshot lands. The AWM coming out. Player 4 also going down now. 1 player left up. It's going to be Suspect. He's on this tree, but he's also in the blue in just a matter of seconds. Goes the spray on towards McZoris, but there it is. It's Frozen Sniper and Beef working together to pick up the kill on towards that down. Go 36 Cartel. And phase 6, and only 8 players remaining, 2 teams. What an endgame. It really is going to come heavily down to, you know, the circles here and the zone battles. I wouldn't expect anything huge and messy in terms of an endgame unless, you know, Spectral do decide to send it up. But we do have Heikeman here kind of sneaking his way along. This could end up being pretty big here for Spectral if he's able to maybe open something up for them. Heikeman still playing slow, not wanting to give too much away right here. Xoris getting caught with some long-range shots. As, I mean, it is going to center up in the middle of them. Neither teams really have amazing cover here, but I guess Xing at least has himself some sandbags to work with, but in terms of cover for Team Thrust, it's not ideal. They're going to have to run out in the open, relying on nothing but trees, really. Frozen Sniper already being taken low. Sigs looking like he wants to reposition the vehicle as I think it is going to be one of those plays right here from Thrust now where they just try and send a vehicle in for a little bit of cover, but I'm not sure whether it's really going to be enough to work with. The Spectral, they just have, you know, really long range angles. Sure, they don't have the best cover, but they have to move slightly later, and Thrust is just going to be wide open, whereas Spectral at least have themselves some little dips, some little sandbags to work with here. McZoris, however, will kind of thread the needle over on towards Mr. Clay, doing some big damage there. Not quite going to be able to finish the job, as Mr. Clay now going to be going for the repeat, the pre-fire coming out. As Thrust, they're just trying to do all the damage that they can right now, but as they lose 1 player, it is going to make things considerably harder. Heikeman still moving in from the northern side right here to try and get an angle. He's got himself the mini. Does big damage onto 1, but he isn't quite able to land the headshot. In comes the drive-by attempt coming out from Xing. He will get taken out. There's now 3 players remaining for Spectral, 3 up for Thrusters. First aid coming in. There it is. Sigs with the AWM takes down Heikeman. Tries to take down Mr. Clay as well. But it's not going to be enough, as now Thrust might have just turned this fight in towards their favor. As, I mean, Spectral, they realized they didn't really have much cover to work with, but I really don't think that the drive-by attempt was the play there for Spectral, but they're going for it again. If it doesn't work the first time, try the second. Out comes the AK spray from Mr. Clay, as he will be getting traded out. Hilarious going to be the final player left up as the nades do land in. Going for the flushes. There's more frags land down. The chances of Spectral surviving are just becoming thinner and thinner. Frozen Sniper on the side angle with the barrel. There it is. Winner. Chicken dinner. Team Thrust with a 15-kill chicken dinner for our fifth game of the evening. Now, just a reminder, guys, I know a lot of you OCE people are used to only playing 5 games. There is still one more match this evening coming up. It's going to be here on a Wrangle in just a couple minutes. Well, there it is. 5 games deep, 1 more remaining. And the question on my mind, and I'm sure everyone else's, is what the hell are Fury going to do about 300 right here? They're still holding on to that lead, 68 points over all, thrust down in second with 46. 300, that bridge can't manage to move them all the way up to 9th, but I feel, and I hate to be biased here, I feel like Fury have just, you know, they've just got tunnel vision. You know, it feels like 300 have just painted a massive target on their back right now. So we will have to see what ends up happening here. If, you know, if Fury decide to get aggro on towards 300 for revenge, or whether the karma that came out from, I believe it was Spectral, is going to be enough for them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's game number 6, our final game of the evening here for OCE PUBG series. We're going to be back tomorrow, same time, same place, with another 6 action-packed games. And honestly, right now, it feels like Fury are kind of tearing away with it. So we will have to see how things end up unfolding here. So it's going to be interesting to keep an eye out for, as the plane is going to be slightly over to the east. There is the potential of a second one of those Milter circles, which would be interesting to see. The Milter power, I should specify, but, you know, Milter is not out the question. Neither is military base in reality here. There's the possibility it goes hard to the south now. As for the time being, nothing too much coming out. Everything just playing ever so slightly slow. It does appear the auxiliary could end up hot dropping over on towards VIP. I'm just wondering where the hell Fury are. They're going over towards Yasnaya. They're not going over towards Millie Base this time. But 300 looking to be taking an early game fight against a different team now, as Bliss potentially could open up on towards them. However, they will just be grabbing the vehicles and dipping, putting 300 in a bit of a rough position. But Bliss, for the time being, should be able to get out of here without any real problems right now. Loot up relatively easy. What's the circle looking like? There is a potential here of a second one of those Millie circles, one of those Milter circles, I should say. I mean, there's not really much to talk about in a circle like this. We've seen it all before. We've known how teams end up unfolding these, and I think now we're reaching a point where the teams are used to playing with each other. They're not really going to be hot dropping each other as much, as opposed, except for 300 maybe. These guys are looking for those early game fights. Pretty much every game by the looks of things. Dropping on towards Bliss, going for the bridge camp on towards Fury. I just want to know what's next right now. You can tell that they want to be up there as one of those top tier teams. Sorry guys, I was just ordering my breakfast because I had about 3 hours sleep last night after finishing Spark series before this. So I had to get myself something sorted out. But there it is. V are going to be very split here for 300. Far away from the rest of his team. Dangerously close here to Jam Gucci. Has a bit of danger on his side in terms of if Jam Gucci tries to flex down on towards this. Trident going to be moving down the hill, and it wouldn't surprise me to see this as part of Jam Gucci's loot path. We typically see this with a lot of the Star Wars teams, where they'll also loot no lean, but it looks like for the time being, his focus is going to be on getting down this hill. He's looking over to no lean, like maybe he is aware that something could be there. He's looking over in that direction. He doesn't spot out Viha just yet. Did he hear the vehicle? He should see this UAS, right? Is that a hard spawn? Interesting, because he will continue to move down. Viha just going to be looting up for the time being. Jam Gucci playing it hard down. Maybe for the hard spawn down towards Yaz. Maybe try and grab this Grandma's compound. Hold on, I'm having some OBS issues again. Give me a moment. Just go there. I'll try and get all of this fixed by tomorrow so we don't have to worry about the delay between what I see and what you guys see. I guess I should probably just do that every game to make sure it doesn't happen. But here it is, Jamguchi. He should hear Viha rotating through. The low ground, however, will give Viha that safety, as the line of sight will be broken by a ridge for the time being. In terms of circle, we do see Thrust. They've already grabbed Milta. They're going to be looting over towards this 36 cartel, potentially going to try and backfill in. But for the time being, they should be good rocking this farm split. There's the potential of it going hard down to the south, as we do see an airdrop go down towards auxiliary. The question is, do these military teams decide to take the gamble here and move down south, or whether they want to just get across early and get the rotate in? Mirage Flare, however, is going to be posted up over towards Prison. There's Big J going to be moving their way in from the west. Just playing it slow, letting this team rotate through. Going to head in towards Lumberyard most likely, but there is a possibility here that Process are going to spot them. And there it is. Akita going to be going for the Mini 14 spray. He's only got a 2x, unfortunately, so can't really make anything huge happen off of it. So, Process, they will get some fire returned on towards them, as Haim Korea and Rookie going to be a little bit further down to the west here. Haim looking like he wants to go for the reposition. Basic looking out on towards this, maybe thinking that there could be players over in this building, but instead just watching out over on the east instead. Fury, they start to make their rotate in now, and 300 taking yet another early game fight over at a bridge. They're going to be able to take down Jamguchi with the knock, followed quickly by Snow. Garfield trying to make a final stand here with the grenades, as another Savior is going to be a little bit far away for the time being. Neferher here to provide some support as well. Viha doing some big damage. There it is. Voxic with the flick on towards Garfield, manages to get the kill, and it's over in no time. 300 with another 4 early game kills, and maybe right now their strat is just taking early game fights when teams aren't expecting them to, because it appears to definitely be working. That's 2 early game fights they've won so far. Even if one of them was a bridge camp, maybe some of you guys wouldn't count it. But yeah, I mean, 8 points in the early game overall in 2 games, that's pretty impressive right there, even if you're not able to make it to the end game. Now, the real challenge for 300, though, is actually making it into the late game. That's something they didn't pull off last game. They did kind of get camped out a little bit by Spectral. I call it karma, as Spectral did manage to just have a player just kind of sneaking behind, and when the time came, 300 were just caught in an absolute pinch here. Jinx will be rotating through for 67 as the circle will continue to close in. Heikeman going to be trying to move for a position that he grabbed last time here. Ginto with the SLR, trying his best to land something, but nothing really connecting too much just yet. Big J over on the west. Haim Korea gets the knock over on towards Jasper, as he will be able to get the flush on towards that as well now. Big J, they have lost 1, but they're not really in a horrible position here. They just need to be careful not to overextend. Maybe not realizing that Team Process were a full 4-man after the shots came out earlier from Rookie and the Wizard. Maybe instead thinking it was just a solo in the Wizard. Maybe the scout for his team taking a couple shots to try and keep you away. So that's why they played this, but now they do have to be a little bit cautious here. Jonas moving around to the side, knows that Rookie could be around here somewhere, but still being very, very cautious not to concede anything right here. Rookie, he thinks he's got a big rap. He has no idea what Jonas has in store for him, as he's just clearing his way through ever so carefully. They don't really have too much info right here on exactly where everyone's going to be. Rookie watching out as best as possible, as Jonas just playing slow for the time being. The snake in the grass, or in this case in the logs, just chilling, not giving anything away. Jonas appears to maybe have heard some of these footsteps here from Rookie. So now he's going up on the rock. If Jonas looks over on this, he will be able to spot him out. There it is. Rookie spotted. Switches over to the Mini 14 as shots do start to rain in from the rest of Big J. Now is Jonas's chance to strike. He goes for the spray, but he's not able to finish the job. Takes Rookie down to half HP. Can't quite clean it up. Looking to try and peek over the top here as the flashbang will come out. Not really connecting too well, however. So Rookie tries to return the favor with another flash of his own. Deja Vu going to be tagged down low. No lethal utility coming out from these teams just yet. There's Jonas just getting more and more aggressive. He does go for the peek, but Rookie's ready for it. He goes for the pre-fire as Rookie now getting caught by Basic from the side angle. Rookie getting flushed out by Jonas as Jakey going to be able to take down Jonas in the trade. Basic and Deja Vu still standing as Haim Korea working down below, trying to get the jump on towards Deja Vu, but he's caught out. Haim with the M4 cleans it up right there. Down goes Deja Vu. Basic still standing. If only Process have a lethal nade here, they can clean it up. Let's see if Akita can maybe make something happen. Basic taken down. Jonas has been res. Now Jakey is going to look for this with the Molotov. But no frag grenades working out like Process really need to kind of guarantee themselves this, because mollies just aren't that useful in smokes in the grand scheme of things. Haim Korea moving around the back to try and clear through, realizing off of this Molotov that he is going to be in or around this smoke somewhere. Jonas just laying prone for the time being, not wanting to give anything away. Kita and Jakey working together. Not expecting Jonas to be chilling here. Haim, however, this could be pretty big. He's able to play it slow enough. Keeping an eye out. Spots him out. There it is. Moves back off of this. Jakey gets the kill. Big J down in 15th place right now. As looking at the circle, it's pulled even harder down to the southeast. A good chunk of this is going to be inside the water. Expect a, northern hard shift after this, though, once that water shift comes in, when phase 4 rolls around. Asberg going for the spray on towards Maka. It's going to be Suspect that lands the final shot, but Light by Design, with only a couple health left, is going to be finished off by Suspect as well. 36 Cartel doing some big damage here as Husey rotating in up to the north. One of the final 2 players left up from TNG. They're just really going to be clambering for a position right now. They have to make something big happen. Spectral, they are going to be trying to defend this compound. Sorry, actually trying to crash into this compound on towards Bazaar, as Ginto going to be able to take down one. Xing also eliminated. Heikeman, the final player left up for Spectral, and yeah, I don't really see him taking this fight, but you never know with Heikeman. He's a very aggressive player. He's confident in his fragging ability. He could very easily just decide to engage onto this now. As I mean, the northern side, Fury, Process, 300 all going to be coming in, and I'll tell you one thing, if Fury see 300 in the kill feed and they hear the shots nearby, they're going to be looking to try and punish. I don't care how focused you are on the game. When the team bridge camps you and you see them the game after, you are doing everything you can to punish that squad. Throwing caution to the wind as Waiki Kamukau takes down Haim Korea. Will be able to get the knock and the flush on towards that, so Process going to be losing one. Over on the western side, we do see Youngbloods here taking a little bit of damage from Auxiliary, as Unique just going to be playing behind this dip for the time being. Auxiliary doing what they can to get this high ground. They know that there are players down here from the drop, from the smoke. We'll give plenty of info away, but the ridge is providing just enough cover here. VIP, they will lose one as McZoris takes down Endgame. They're just posting up for the time being. There's a lot of nades will be landing in. Tazzy taking a little bit of damage. Sig's over to the side. Going to be trying to catch something as well. But Beef has gone down to Paradox here up to the north. So there will be at least one player short now. Sig's working around, watching out for McZoris. Decides to hop into the vehicle and dip out of here. Wants to get a bit more central. As up on the northern side, here it is, 300. Going to be third partying on towards Team Process as well. Jakey getting caught with the nade. Down go Team Process as 300 cleaning that one up. But Fury should be aware this is them now. They are going to start working in as Ronin getting more and more aggressive. There's definitely a bit of beef here for Fury. They are going to be looking to really punish on towards 300, showing why they're that #1 team and kind of warning them not to challenge again, as the circlet will kind of center up, meaning we are going to get a pretty similar ending to earlier on, but more likely going to be around the Bazaar 36 Cartel kind of compounds here. Shots will be raining out from Waikiki and Mukau, trying to land over on towards head kick before going for a reposition. Head kick has been caught low, but this is going to allow Neferher and Voxic the opportunity to start getting aggressive on towards this now. So they have to be a little bit cautious. There is a big open area between them and Fury that could potentially cause some issues, but Fury actually being very disciplined here, deciding to back off instead, grouping up over with Insight, realizing they're not inside the circle just yet. Team Bliss will be able to get the knock on towards Cherry. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, however, as right there, he should be able to get the heal. Teammates together. Thrust, however, they're going to have themselves a bit of a problem right here. They are getting crashed 100% by Team Amplify. Auxiliaries, I should say. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of new teams I haven't casted before, so apologies for any confusions with the name. But Auxiliaries, they are going to be working their way through. Spray comes out here from Maxoris at the side angle. Sig's taking the vehicle for a bit of a rotate as well. Beef up on the roof, catching fire from very long range. They're going to be forced to play the backside of this. Nice and carefully. Auxiliary. And Viz, he gets caught from Frozen Sniper here. So Thrust with a really big split going on right now. Frozen Sniper looking out. Ace gun goes down as Beef starts to open up. He goes down in the trade. Two players still up on the top floor. Any frags could be big here for Thrust, but it looks like they haven't really got them to work with as the long-range shots will be coming in from Furios. Shoehorse, the final player left up. With the 2K, takes him down beautifully. And that now leaves Frozen Sniper. It's the final player for Thrust. That is an absolutely huge play coming out from Auxiliaries there to be able to survive that. We did see Bliss. They made a push over on towards TNG now as Husey and Cherry going to be trying to make a final stand for TNG. But with Monty moving around the side, it could cause some big issues here for them. Right now, they can play as a stalemate for the time being, providing they get the heals off. But with 67 at range, Tiger Foam taking some big shots, it's not going to last too long at this rate. Cherry getting caught with the grenade now as Husey moving in for the res. More nades will start to land in, but they can't quite connect through the window. So TNG are going to be safe for the time being. The revive should come off now. Up on the northern side, here it is again. Fury, they're going to be able to spot out on towards 300. Down goes Nep. Down goes Voxic. That is absolutely huge right there with the nade. There's 300 with 2 players left. Fury showing that they are well disciplined in taking fights like this. They are not just going to send it onto something just because they see a team that they don't like, or that maybe screwed them over last game. They're still playing discipline. They're still playing slow, but now Ronan is going to be looking to punish here. Waikiki Mukau with the spray. Does some big damage on towards 300. V getting the trade. Goes for the flush. Not going to be able to connect with it as Ronan getting more and more aggressive. Head kick needs to come in and provide some support for his teammate. But as the nade lands through from Insight, now Viha going to be the final player left up. 300. Down they go in 13th, and there it is. That's the revenge that Fury were looking for. But Youngbloods down to the south also going to be opening up with some shots as now they need to move in a little bit further. The circle's donutted. In just a short time, it's going to start moving as well. 20 seconds, so Fury hopping in their vehicles, getting ready to potentially crash something here, because in a circle like this, a crash is maybe the best play that you can pull off. As down on the southern side, Gat's going to be opening up on towards Butts. Paradox will be losing one. Sans going for the insta-res on towards it. Heikeman taking some shots up towards Bazaar. Can't really connect, however. Just, you know, kind of keeping their heads down more than anything. Keeping this position under their control as the final player left up here for Spectral. It is just going to be a case of making noise and making sure that no teams push you. As Fury now moving in from the northeastern side. Do have a bit of a way to go. And it looks like they are just going to pull up kind of on this dip right here. It is a nice little bank that is able to be worked for scouting and potentially even just head straight in towards mini-mill to power that 67 are currently going to be holding. As now, I definitely expect things to slow down for the time being. 38 alive still. Somehow, it doesn't look like it. 12 teams remaining. 18 minutes into the game. Subject Nest. With the Mini 14, trying to land something onto Flood. will be able to do a little bit of damage. Flood should be able to get down low, but if these tires go, it's going to make that vehicle almost impossible to get out of here. And Flood is basically resigned to this position for the rest of the game now. He can maybe make a cross later, but it looks like Fury want to play this ridge that they played last game, as it did work out for them. Gats will be able to get the kill on towards Frozen Snipers. Down go Thrust right now. 11 teams remaining. Subject Nest still firing out some shots. As Fury were able to execute the rescue here, they managed to get the teammate up. They're going for this ridge. Auxiliaries, however, down on the southern side could potentially punish them off of this, as they are just in a very strong position to get line of sight on towards Fury here if maybe Ace Gun looks in the right direction. But for the time being, he's going to be kind of preoccupied on towards Heikeman inside of this quad compound. Up on the northeast, the fight's still kicking off here with TNG and Team Bliss. As Bliss going to be staying as a 4-man, not wanting to risk making the cross yet, as now the circle does pop. It's going to pull down to the south, and Fury, the rotation actually working out really well for them as they do get sent to circle, but they are still catching a lot of fire here from 67. Jinx looking out here, trying to get eyes, but the smokes are breaking that vision. Looking over towards the doorway, but still can't really spot anything. Sweet Soul going to take the rotate in. It's the rest of Youngblood still with a bit of a way to go. Gat's going to be able to catch Sweet Soul out in the open. Down goes one from Youngbloods now. Gat's looking out. Takes a couple on towards Ginto. Not really enough, though. As now here comes the push from Team Bliss. Cherry has been caught on fire. He's down to 5 HP. Husey still standing as well now. Cherry takes down Monty. Textile getting taken down from range. Husey holding the side angle as Cherry goes down to Rain on the push. The MK going to be what picks up the kill here. One more, it almost does the job, but it's not quite going to be enough there, as down go TNG in 11th. Bliss going to be looking to try and get the heals up, but 36 Cartel are going to be pretty aware that this is happening. Youngbloods, they take over this dip as best as possible, as I Only Loot Bodies and Unique, the two remaining players. Heifer may be able to get rezzed here, as Unique moving in towards that, but VIP also going to be pushed on towards this position. If Tazzy has a nade here, it's pretty much all over. The Molotov comes in. It's certainly looking close. Is it going to spread far enough? Heifer should be safe for the time being. The second frag, however, that should finish off the job. I Only Loot Body goes down, as well as Unique getting tagged up once again. One more nade will finish off the job, and there it is. Down go Youngbloods, out in 10th position. Very impressive indeed there from VIP. Down on the south, though, Heikeman, the solo player left up here from Spectral. He's looking down towards Auxiliary. They've made the crash in towards the compound, but he's still not afraid to open up on towards VIP. He spots one out running the open. He takes the many shots, but he can't quite finish the job on towards it. The circle continuing to close, and there it is. Team Bliss making the crash. It doesn't work out for them, as Monty, Rain, and Bryn all going to be getting taken out. Team Bliss out in 8th position. 36 Cartel just going to be looting that one up. Bizarre still down to the south. Could cause a little bit of damage here. Fury just playing this ridge as possible, as carefully as they can right now. Ronan does get caught from range. 7922 for Auxiliaries. Still down here with the Mini putting out some damage. He's got the Aug. He's got himself the 3 gear, but the helmet, it's running low on health. Taking a look over at how this next zone pops, it'll give us an idea of how exactly the rest of the game's going to unfold. We are going to see 67 and most other teams forced to move. The only team really inside completely at the moment is going to be Fury. They are looking strong in this position. Paradox as well, still out in this dip. Maybe not expecting Gats and VIP to move over this, as they do prep the weapons. The Molotov lands down. Killaroo going to be caught with it, but he's the only one for the time being. Like Ikamukau connecting on towards Jinx. Killaroo going for the healers now. Paradox, they want to start opening up. Tazzy gets the knock on towards Tchaikovsky. Sam's going to be going for the trade. Takes down Tazzy. Fury peeks up over the top. Takes down one more. And the third. And there it is. All 4 going down. Paradox eliminated down in 7th position. The smokes are up to try and get the reses for VIP. But this is Bizarre Gaming's opportunity to start moving in from the northern side here. Speedy already getting aggressive. Let's see if maybe Auxiliary can can land something onto this and start picking themselves up some kills. The Speedy preps the nade is going to be a bit far out to the side. Not going to connect on towards Tazzy. Screws are going to be playing the top side, though. This could end up being absolutely huge. As 36 Cartel also looking like they want to flex on towards it a little. Tazzy goes down, gets flushed out here by Speedy. The two players from VIP going to try and peek over the top. Gat's going to be able to take down Ginto. Screws up gets the train on towards it. Takes down Fury as well. As now the final player left up, it's going to be endgame, but it's the end of the game for him as 5 teams remaining. VIP go out in 6. Bizarre taking a lot of attention now as Auxiliary's looking up towards this. Fury still farming out damage over on towards 67 as the crash does come out. The nades will be coming out from Flood. It does a lot of damage on towards Tiger Foam. Not going to be enough to really pick up the kill for the time being, however. 67 playing ever so carefully. They don't want to give too much away, but if they don't push soon, then 36 Cartel could do some big damage on towards them. They will have the line of sight as Suspect getting caught a little bit in the open. Subject Nest landing one more. 36 Cartel going to be going for a heal, and it wouldn't surprise me to see a bit of a crash come out here from 36 Cartel. Bizarre could catch them from a side angle if they use this high ground to their advantage, but they're a little bit nervous right now of Auxiliaries opening up. The barrel spray comes out as Waikiki takes down one. Ginto takes down Suspect as well. So 36 Cartel, they've lost one, but so have Auxiliaries right now as they're going to be playing this compound. They don't have to move just yet. Fury need to refocus their attention on towards this fight and cleaning up 67, but as the nades and flashes start to land down, Fury are going to be taking some serious damage. Mollies are up to prevent the push coming out from them as these players are just constantly getting flash right now. Left, right, and center. The screens have just got to be pasty white at this point. Player 4 with the MK farming damage out over to the west as now Tiger Foam does go down. Fury committing onto the push finally. It looked like they were going to be held back for a little bit. Furzy and Subject Nest both going to be low, but Fury, they don't really have utility to work with. They don't even have vests for themselves right now. Ronan doesn't even have, you know, a 2 vest. It's absolutely cracked. Waikiki takes down one. Ronan getting taken down in the trade, but it doesn't matter because 67 going to be able to get taken down in 5th place right now. Looking at the circle, it is going to center up over towards 36 Cartel, which is why we see Bizarre opening up with some utility right now, but it's going to be Ace Gun from range connecting with the headshot on towards Screwser. Speedy, the final player left up here for Bizarre, still going to be standing as Waikiki opening up on towards 36 Cartel. He gets caught by Ace, though, as now Auxiliaries, they are still surviving. They are putting out some damage here. Asper going to be getting flushed out. 2 remaining players here for 36 Cartel. Just playing this vehicle for everything it's worth. Speedy still out on the edge. Still has to make his way in here. Looking over at the zone, Fury are going to be getting the res, is insight ready, realizing that the push could potentially come out in a minute or 2 from Auxiliary. SLR. Shots don't quite land as Ronan getting taken down with the AUG. Flood gets the trade. Waikiki he's just being res. Now it's time for him to get aggressive here. No vest, no helmet, but he's still able to get a knock on towards it. Shoehorse Moo, the final player left up here for Auxiliary, getting caught with the headshot. And Waikiki with the AK Hollow, I talk about it every time I cast him. He's just so strong with that weapon. Speedy, the solo from Bizarre. 2 players left up from 36 Cartel. And I gotta say, it's looking like Fury are gonna try and make this the clean sweep right here. Picking up as many wins as possible. Potentially making it a 3rd overall for them. So now Fury, they're just taking control of the northern side. They're gonna move into the north a little bit more. Ronan watching out here. Speedy just laying prone in case there's anyone inside the compound. Little does he know. Player 4. He's got himself the MK. He could maybe get a kill or 2 off of this if he spots out Speedy. But, I mean, Speedy has just got himself into a position that I don't think any teams would be expecting right now. Waikiki is still going to be holding this, however. Knows there could be players over at this compound. He will spot out Speedy over at the rock. Circle gets ready to pop. Let's see how it goes. And it's pretty much guaranteed Fury get it just because of their insane zone control right now. Ronan going to be right in the center. Flood playing a bit further to the south. Insight up to the north. And Waikiki just providing pressure over on towards Speedy over on the west here. And I mean, looking at things, 36 Cartel, they don't have to move just yet. But as soon as Speedy is being dealt with, I'm pretty certain At this point, the Fury are just going to look to finish the job and send it in towards 36 Cartel. The nade comes through. Beautifully placed. White kick a Mukau. Beautifully placed nade over on towards Speedy as player 4. He's trying to do something with the MK, but it's not going to be enough. And no surprises with zone control like that. Fury pick up our final chicken dinner of the evening. 16 kills. That is absolutely huge for them. Let's not count out as well, though. 36 Cartel, second place. And Bizarre, they were really good when it came to actually executing those attacks on towards other teams. They took their time, but specifically towards the end there, where they heard the teams fighting in the dip down to the south, they were more than confident to move in, secure themselves a couple kill points out of it. But, you know, we got a couple minutes till leaderboards update. It's going to be interesting to see how things are looking. I'm pretty certain Fury, they're going to be miles out in the lead. But realistically, the second, third, fourth places are where we're going to see a lot of kind of tension coming out right now, because it isn't the teams that have won 3 games like Fury have. It's the teams that have maybe won 1 game, that have picked up some decent kill points. I really want to see how Bliss are going to be able to do as well, because at the moment, you know, they've had some really strong performances, but they just haven't been able to really get into the placement in the way they maybe hoped to. I think at last count, they had 5 placement points overall, which really isn't ideal for a squad like Bliss, because, you know, they are able to pick up the kills, sure, but if they're not getting those placements, it just gives them a little bit of a handicap. It makes it so much harder for them. So he's hoping that maybe they can get themselves some better placements going into tomorrow evening for OCE PUBG Series 5. We're just waiting on the leaderboards to update at any moment. I can't tell you how excited I am to see how things are really going to be looking, because in a lobby like this where things are so tight, it's always the middle of the leaderboard that ends up being some of the most intense fights that you see. I mean, gotta be the play of the game tonight. I always like giving like 1 or 2 plays that really stand out in my mind. It's gotta be 300. Say what you will. Personally, I feel like it was kind of a bit of BM, you know, camping a team like Fury. But you know what? It worked out for them. They had the LMGs. They blew up the vehicles. They picked up some big kills. They didn't lose a single player off of it. It's just unfortunate that Spectral had almost the same plan for them. They had a player kind of waiting behind. And as soon as 300 fell into that trap, they just got absolutely punished for it. And in the end, 300 taking some serious damage and went out relatively early in that game. But I mean, that bridge camp, that is just absolutely huge. It's going to be a big one to watch. And I think going into tomorrow, we're definitely going to see a bit of a rivalry start to develop. We saw, you know, after that game, Fury were the ones that managed to eliminate 300 in our final game of the evening. I'm not sure whether that was intentional, whether it was just, hey, we got a good position over this team that's onto our west, but it definitely felt like it, because, I mean, beautiful nades coming out there from Fury towards the end to be able to take out 300, really wiping extremely well. And I think it comes down to karma a lot of the time at the end of the day. It was a very impressive game for them. We're just waiting on game 6 results to come through, but these are the results as of the end of game number 5. With Fury out in first, 68 total points. Let's see if maybe Thrust or Bizarre, teams that managed to get into the top 3 there, might be able to close the distance when we do get our final leaderboards. I don't want to show them for too long, just in case anyone does get a little confused with the scores. But we are literally just waiting on the final game now, just on the PUBG API. But I mean, strong performance from Fury tonight. And you know what? It feels like a lot of the time we see it's Fury, Spectral, Bliss, in kind of any sort of order. But seeing Thrust perform so well, and some of the teams like TNG that maybe in LPL Split 1 didn't have the strongest performance, seeing them come out of the gate swinging and, you know, really putting up a decent fight, I'm super impressed for them. And I think I'm really excited to see what happens going into tomorrow, how these teams are going to be able to adjust. But I think the name on everyone's lips right now has to be 300, because these guys, they are a team that predominantly competes in NA. They are a 2-2 team, meaning they have 2 OCE players and 2 NA players, meaning that they are eligible for both OCE and NA events. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because it shows that they really have the fragging power. But I do feel like, whereas NA is all about playing edge, sweeping out and picking up some kills, it feels like OCE is maybe a little bit more what you call old school PUBG, in the sense of let's grab ourselves a compound and then see what we can do out of that compound, pick up some kills out of it. When the next zone shifts, we'll go and get ourselves another good position. It's not so much about, you know, let's just play edge and sweep out for kills. But that should be the Game 6 leaderboards updated. Let's take a look over at them. Fury out in first place, no surprises. And Bazaar, a team that maybe didn't have the strongest performance in LPL Season 1. I mean, you know what? 55 points for a second place. Very impressive indeed. Team Thrust in third with 47. Spectral and 36 Cartel, each with 40. TNG with 38. Team Bliss with 37. VIP with 32. 300 with 30. Team Process with 29. Trident Esports with 23. Youngbloods with 22. 67 with 16, Paradox Esports with 13, Auxiliaries with 12, and Big J, unfortunately, only with 7 points. So, going into tomorrow, there's a lot to keep an eye out for. See if Fury can hold on to that lead, which at this rate, you know, they'd have to have pretty poor performances not to at least get a top 3 finish. But let's see how Bazaar and Thrust are going to be able to do. Teams that, you know, maybe in the past we haven't seen have the strongest performances. Let's see if they can maybe pull out something big here. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me this evening. Make sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place, for more OCE PUBG series. Season 5, it's always an exciting one. I will see you guys next time.